Okay. Okay.
All right. We're gonna look. I'm gonna talk you down the runway, okay? I know you've never flown before, but this is where we are.
All right.
We lost an engine.
We
We're
lost
going
an
down,
engine.
Captain. I'm
Maybe.
giving her all she's got.
Maybe we'll.
I like this. This is Grandmaster Dan here.
Hello, everybody.
We're doing Grandmaster podcasts tonight.
I can't read the channel.
You can't raid the channel. What? You should be able to. We're live now.
This is why this was a good idea. Doing things live was a good idea, Dan.
Yeah.
Dan, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that was a horrible idea, actually.
Look, this is how we do things here.
Oh my
That's
god.
how it goes.
Maybe I can host it.
Okay, so Joey,
So bizarre.
here's what I need you to do, okay, buddy?
Yeah.
Okay, end your stream. Just end your stream. Like, turn off your camera, real quick. Turn off your camera.
Right. Okay.
You can't raid the channel. It's not letting you raid the channel at all.
I'll just see if I can host it.
See if you can host.
Hey.
I'm watching you try to fix this live, by the way, Dan, and it's.
Did it work?
Mwah.
It worked, right?
Oh, Dan.
Look,
No, everything's fine.
look, man.
Great work.
When a wrench gets thrown at you, you live
threw
with the
the
wrench.
wrench!
You
You're
live.
the one that threw a wrench.
I didn't throw the wrench. Joey threw
It
the
was-
wrench.
it
Joey
was
threw the
the
wrench. I'm just the
wrench.
one who's
It's
trying to
okay.
land the
I
plane.
gave the wrench.
I'm trying to
It's
land the
okay.
plane.
I gave the wrench. You threw the wrench.
I will
Right.
throw the wrench anywhere I please.
God. He's gone mad with power.
All right, here we go.
Hey,
Also, just a side
there
note,
we go.
look how terrifying my profile picture looks when it's like it just matches my skin tone. I hate it.
Oh, good lord.
All right, what color?
hey.
Here we go.
What color? What colors can you? Ooh, I like that color.
Are we gonna
All of them,
start-
dude.
Are we
Whoa.
gonna start recording in
I like the
Audacity?
blue. Yeah, hold on one second.
Yeah.
We'll
We'll get
go
to that.
here. All right. We're getting there. Slowly but surely.
Easy.
Look at us. Hi, chat. Welcome in. All
Hello,
right.
everybody.
This is the stuff that you usually miss, chat. This is like the
Dan
exclusive
decided to
experience.
get a little trigger happy with the live button.
I love it.
already,
Yeah,
so-
I had to go live in order for Joey to rate us. If he rated us and we weren't live, then it would have what? All right.
Everything's fine now.
So, all right.
It's fine.
Okay.
It'll work.
Always
Hands
late,
up.
but
Jesus,
worth the
take
wait.
the wheel. Jesus, take the
It's
wheel.
me. If I'm the guest, it couldn't go smoothly. Like, what do you
Right.
mean?
I mean, that's true.
All
There
right.
has to be some circus type activity involved.
I dig it.
All right.
I like this. This is how we should do it every week.
Audacity up. Get ready.
Hold on. Yeah.
All right. Sweet.
Do I hit recording?
We're going to count down from 5, and on
But I
go, we're going to
start
hit
recording.
record. We're going to count
Okay,
down
okay,
from
okay.
5, and then we're going to hit record.
Got it.
5,
Easy.
4,
Sure,
3, 2, 1, go.
We are go.
We did it.
Mm-hmm.
Did we land
Hands
the
are up.
plane?
I think
Jesus,
Plane
take the
landed.
wheel.
we may have landed the plane. Oh, Jesus isn't here, my friend.
Oh, you're right. All right. Hey.
Hello,
Do you feel
chat.
better? Do you feel better, Dan?
Oh man, I haven't
You
yelled
feel
this
like you-
much in a while.
No, this is great. I like this. It's almost like the exclusive experience for the people who watch the show live. Because if you're listening, you missed everything.
Oh, no, this is gonna get edited out.
This is
you can
gone.
edit this out. Yeah,
You're
you're
done.
fine.
But this is for the people who are joining us live. This is what it's like every week, seconds before we press the live button. It's an absolute panic.
Madness.
Every week. And I like it like that.
It's a little bit like the Muppet Show, like,
Mhm.
but more hectic.
A
Somehow.
bit. Just maybe a bit more.
It's time
Well-
to start the music. It's time to light the lights.
You got to sing the rest of it now.
Mm-mm.
No, he doesn't.
No, DMCA.
You don't
I'm
just-
just here to be a buzzkill. I'm sorry.
Wait, you think you'll get DMCA'd for your singing of the Muppet?
It's
theme
just
song?
that good.
I
It's
mean,
just
that
it
good.
Sound pretty good.
Yeah.
Dan is a musician.
like-
so
It's like perfect. So
if anybody's gonna do it,
You know, you would be my favorite Muppet. Like if we could get a Muppet
Dan is a
of
Muppet.
Angry Dan from back when you were doing band shows and all that. That I wake up thinking about that picture. By the way, buddy.
We're gonna
You're
make
the-
that, and I'm so mad at myself for not having made that an emote
Oh,
yet.
come on
We're gonna
now.
do it. It's gonna
That's
happen.
You're the first thing I think about in the morning, Dan. It's just you looking angrily at the crowd. That would be my favorite Muppet. You'd be the best Muppet.
Dan has big Muppet energy. for
Oh,
sure.
absolutely. 100%. And just as silly, I guess we could say.
Yeah, it's part of it.
Oh, whatever. Let's get into this. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 288 of the Planet Destiny podcast. We are back once again to talk about all the goings on in the Destiny universe. And man, what a week it's been. Bungie breaks their silence on PvP. Got a lot of things to talk about there. If you're a slide shotgunner, you won't be next season. We got a really huge amount of sandbox changes and subclass changes that we're going to be getting into over the course of the show. And joining us this week, we have the most special of special guests, the one, the only, the mustache himself, Mr. JOverrated. Thanks for joining us tonight, man.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
No, it's amazing to have you on, and like this couldn't have been. It's almost like divine providence. The week where we learn about PvP things and a bunch of crazy nonsense is the week that you finally have time to be here.
No, it was pretty great. Dan literally DM'd me. He was like, "Hey," he like I saw the it was Joe Blackburn, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
saw
Yeah.
his tweet because Dan DM'd me. He's like, "Hey, we got some stuff to talk about this week."
Get in here.
Almost,
It
it's
was
like
great.
like that episode of Family Guy where Brian borrows money from Stewie, and so Stewie's like stalking him in the hallway.
Where's my money,
You've
man?
been ducking me, man. I'm getting real tired of you ducking me, man.
That's anybody
Where's our
trying to make
guest
plans
host,
with
man?
Joey.
It's just Dan standing there holding a Fellwinners, waiting for you in the hallway.
Ooh,
It's
scary.
time, man. Time to pay up. But yeah, man.
I can blink away.
I was trying to slide into those DMs.
Not next season.
Mm-mm.
But right on. It's great to have you here. Gonna be a fun show tonight. We've got an interesting roundtable of hosts because of course Dan Finity is here. How you
Hi.
doing, buddy?
Well,
And Moonvald has decided to grace us with her presence.
Oh, don't put it like that.
Oh, I'm
I'm
putting
just,
it like
uh,
that.
I'm just here to hang. I haven't been here because I've like had no opinions to contribute, so you know,
But then Joey was coming on. She's like, "Oh, okay."
Right.
gotta hang out with Joey.
I almost feel like you're mostly here to leash me.
Oh, that's not possible. We all know this by now.
Right. Mm.
Y'all just do what the fuck you want. I can't stop it from happening.
Well, it's better when you're here because your reactions are precious.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Precious. Yeah, that's what I go for.
It's gotta be good. And of course, I am the Black Link. And with that, why don't we just go ahead and dive on into things here? First off, shame on Nim.
shame.
Shame him.
Shame.
Shame him.
Why are we
I won't
shaming
tell you why we're shaming him, but shame on Nim. This is how we start the show basically every week
Do we?
with a
He is
different thing to shame him.
moving.
He is.
You
But
gotta be
that's-
nice
He's
to him.
moved.
No
I
excuses.
feel like.
It's not why we're shaming him, though.
He's moved.
He's had enough time to do
kind
that, right?
of. Kind of.
He had time to tweet out that he made waffles this morning.
Right?
He's
time to-
moved.
That's
time to play some
definitely
Iron Banner
equivalent
with
to
me.
sitting down for a podcast for an hour and a half.
Right.
He'll play some Iron Banner with me, but he won't go on a podcast with me. See how it
He's
is.
sitting there trying to rep the Nova Bros, but like won't
I
stick
know.
around to talk about it. This
I
guy.
know.
This guy.
This guy.
We love you, Nim.
Sometimes.
We like you. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Total.
Is he even in here?
He will be. That man can sense when you're talking about him. I
Oh.
was talking to my buddy about
Send you a
something Nim
text.
posted, and literally 3 minutes later, he hits me up in the DMs on Discord with something. It's like this man knew.
Mm.
This man gossip girled straight over to me because he knew I was talking about him. But that's all right. We love the guy. Joey, again,
Yes.
thanks so much for joining us tonight. I find it hard to believe that there could be somebody out there affiliated with the Destiny community who doesn't know who you are. But for the benefit of those who are listening who maybe aren't affiliated with you, why don't we take an opportunity to allow you to introduce yourself and tell everybody what it is you do?
Yeah. My name is JOverrated, not Jay. I will mostly be playing trials. Kind of my thing. Too much.
Shtick.
And yeah, PvP is my jam in Destiny. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Pretty much it. And man, PvP in Destiny, it's in an
Mhm.
interesting spot right now. And
Mm.
I'd imagine you've got a few, at, at least one opinion about the state of the Crucible, right?
I got a couple. Yeah. I got a couple.
Well, good. Looking forward to hearing some of that as we move forward. But one of the things we always like to do in this podcast when we've got a guest host is we talk to them a bit about their history with gaming, specifically their history with Destiny and all of that. So I'd love to
Mhm.
hear, how did you get started with this franchise?
Well, with this franchise, I mean, technically, it all started with that glorious poster behind me,
Yeah.
which is ironically associated so much with Bungie. I played like literally Halo to Halo 3 was just my indoctrination into gaming. Loved it, made me like who I am. And then it just kind of segued into Destiny in like 2014 and 15. I remember I loved Modern Warfare 2
Oh man.
and I loved Halo 3. And then I was like, wait a minute. They're making like a space magic like game with the creators of Halo and Master and at Modern Warfare 2. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
And then I just was addicted ever since.
Yeah, very similar. I have a very similar sort of origin story with Destiny there because I'm a big Call of Duty guy, and
Mhm.
Modern Warfare 2 was one of my top 5 games of all time. I just
Mhm.
what a beautiful cacophony of nonsense that
So much
game
fun.
was. Just so much fun. And I was a big Halo guy too back in the day, and so I felt the same way, seeing that Bungie was moving forward with a space magic Halo that was kind of a mix between the
Right? With like a
Halo
little
run and
more
gun arena shooter with
just yep.
a little
Mhm.
bit of Call of Duty thrown in. It was 100% enough to lure me into it, and been playing it ever since. So I guess we should flash forward into the world of D2 we've got right now. What are your thoughts on the overall state of the Crucible? I mean, because obviously you've been playing this franchise. It's what, going on 7 years now that Destiny has been a
Yeah.
thing. How do you feel about it now?
It I love this game so unbelievably much.
Yeah,
And it's there's a lot of frustrating aspects about it, but like there's a reason we all keep going back and keep suffering through it. It's because we
yep,
know with just a couple tweaks it could be so perfect. Um
yeah,
there's but I've had a big revelation the last couple months. Like this isn't going to be a 100% competitive esport game. It never has and it never will
yeah,
be. Like we got to just relax and like enjoy the season and literally enjoy the seasons of cheese and like just not like shrug it off. It's not that deep. You know, just try to have fun in the Crucible, and that's what I've been trying to do. I'm failing. It's easy to get frustrated, but yeah. Yeah.
No, I think that's 100% on the money, and I kind of sit back and feel the same way. You can get frustrated with the game, and Lord knows I have, but I still wake up and go play Destiny because
Right?
it's fun to
Like
do.
Like,
Like,
why is it we always like, oh man, you remember when one tapped? Like, oh, you remember like Plan
yep,
C, like all these broken things from Destiny
yep,
that were like, oh, it was so much fun. You're like, dude, you're an ice wizard that can kill people instantly. Like, just enjoy it before it's nerfed.
yeah.
Like,
It's almost like we go season in and season out with
I
different
know.
busted things like that. Like,
Exactly.
this
Enjoy
season
it.
it's Lord of Wolves. Okay, well, it's like, oh man, you guys remember Lord of Wolves?
Right.
I hated that. Can't wait
Now,
to play it
next up,
again.
Mountaintop. Woo!
Then Mountaintop, and then like everybody picks up Bastion and is like, oh my god, this thing is
Oh, see, that's my one.
monstrous.
Joey's
Okay.
nemesis
All right,
is
I
the
take it back.
Bastion.
Enjoy the
Mhm.
cheese, use the cheese. Except Bastion.
If Bastion is involved, Joey
Except
does
that
not
one.
want to hear about it.
Right. Just accept that one. But yeah, I 100% agree with that. I sit back and I think, okay, well, each season's got its own specific brand of cheese because we kind of go in the ebb of flow of weapon archetypes being buffed, nerfed, abilities being buffed and nerfed. Introduction of stasis. It was frustrating, but you just switch to a stasis class and rule things until Bungie nerfs it into the ground,
Yep.
and yeah,
I
roll
don't know
with
if anybody. I don't know if anybody stayed strong and didn't go stasis. I broke down.
I tried. I tried.
You tried.
I tried. Lord knows I was a Nova boy for the longest time, and then it's just
Same.
like I got this pocket Nova that basically tickles the
Right.
chin of everybody I'm near. I'm getting frozen all over the place. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll be the AC 130. I'll swap to Top Tree Dawnblade, and Lord knows that's super powerful. But still, getting frozen all over the place. Eventually, it was just like, all right, whatever. What class
Right.
does Nim play? Let me copy everything he's got on, and that's what I'll do. And that's what I did.
Yeah, Nem betrayed his Void Boy roots for sure for Stasis.
With the
We all
quickness.
did. It's okay.
I
The
didn't.
Winter's Wraith.
I'm still a Void Walker till the day I die.
Mm.
Maybe until we get a poison subclass, if that ever happens. But
Traitor.
Might be.
gotta stay. You're the traitor.
Yeah, at least I own it.
Degenerates, all of you.
Look, I can't be a hunter because of charity, so I'll take that win. I'll take
Oh
that
my
win.
god.
I mean,
How
why
long
would you want to be a hunter anyways, am I right?
does
Joey,
that run out?
Joey, I swear to God, I will uninvite you.
If it's a hunter party, I don't want to be invited.
That runs out
Get
at the
a
beginning of Witch Queen, so I'm guessing a
Right,
few
right,
more
okay.
months.
Oh yeah, it got
Several-
extended.
several
Oh
months.
no. You gotta make better challenges for your chat streams, man. You can't be challenging this community with stuff like that. You will never play a hunter again.
I mean,
Gotta raise money somehow, bro.
yeah, I just got to push that number up. Rookie numbers, man.
Gotta pump those numbers up.
Yep.
Right. So where do we go from here? Because I guess we could just kind of roll on into the Joe Blackburn topic, because of course we're talking about Crucible, and he comes out with this major Twitter thread talking about Bungie's approach to Crucible, kind of some of the things they've been working on the back end, why we haven't seen some new content in quite some time, and what we can expect in the future. I'm assuming everybody here had a chance to go over that multiple
Oh wait, he
times,
tweeted
right?
something?
Oh yeah, a little thing. He talked about some
Okay.
skins or whatnot. So what's everybody's thoughts? I guess Joey, we can start with you. What were your thoughts on what he had to say?
I thought it was very awesome, but a little overdue. Like
Yeah,
a lot of the community, like the consensus I've seen is like, that's awesome, like great, but like just tell us that earlier. Like like it's gonna suck, but just tell us we won't get a map like for an X amount of time, or like something. Like they have been really good with communication in the past versus 4, and like seeing that made me really happy. I just wish we got a little bit sooner, if that makes sense.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think that makes perfect sense. Probably one of the biggest criticisms that came out of this was that, it's nice to hear this stuff. We're going to be getting no new maps in season 15, but I
Right.
think season 16, and then not even new. It's going to be like reprised D2
reprised.
maps in season 16, and then like one new map in season 17, and then more reprised maps in season 18. It's like, okay, well that's all nice, but like, couldn't you have said that 2 years ago when we heard
Right.
about the renewed focus on PvP?
Yeah. That comment may go down as one of the most like regretful comments of those documentaries.
Yeah, it's kind of like the PvP version
the-
of the
2 tokens, 1 blue.
exactly the most rewarding public event in history. 2 tokens and a blue, and
Classic.
Friend game is
Yeah.
the true end game.
That's right.
Yeah.
that'll be down on the
Friend game is
documentary.
the true end game.
Is it?
Yes.
I still need Vex.
You
What's your
haven't
point,
watched it
PR?
yet?
Why do you want it?
I just
Like, you might be better off not having it.
He just
just
wants
want
to
it.
put it in his collection.
yeah.
Here's where to put my Vex Mythic class.
Yeah.
If I had
I
one.
had one.
Oh, mood.
But yeah, so like I was reading a lot of what Shake had to say about
Mhm.
about this, and like his notion was like, it's great to hear this kind of stuff, but like, is it a case of too little too late? And as much as I love Bungie, I can't really find too big of an argument against that. This is like,
Yeah, I mean, like I think the difficult thing about it is that that's a studio with 700 to 800 people, and the amount of bureaucracy that probably goes into
oh yeah,
delivering information is like, it's got to be insane, right? I'm not trying to make
Yeah.
excuses for a lack of communication or anything, but I don't know. That's just kind of how I view it, because
Yeah.
shit gets filtered down through a lot of people a lot of the
Absolutely.
time. So
And we
that's
have,
just the other side of it, right?
I always preface whenever I talk about the Crucible, or crap, I didn't do it this time. I usually preface before I talk about the Crucible and everything that goes into it that I know absolutely nothing about game development. Like I'm
Mhm.
not a
None
dev.
of
Like
us
I
do.
have no exactly.
We're
Nobody
just a bunch
knows
of
the amount of
clowns on the internet, right? Like,
I want more
come on.
content. Like we don't know all of the things that go into it. I'm sure it's incredibly hard. Like my dream scenario would be like a monthly Crucible patch update where they just like nerf it. Like that's the season. I'm gonna go on a mini rant here. The season will go on, and when there's something that's broken, and you know it's broken, and we all just have to suffer with it. And like my dream scenario would just be like a quick little patch, like every month, like to fine tune the little things that we know need to be changed. Like that would be
Right.
so great. But I'm sure so much would have to go into that to like update the game and like yeah, I get it. It's just I wish
It's
there
just
was more
difficult not knowing,
Yeah.
not knowing. I
right?
wish there
Yeah.
was clarification as to why there's not new map. Like it's gonna be
Yeah.
3 years. Like the splicer content. Those what was like the simulation rooms or what are they called? Like the black and green like those rooms are
Yeah.
so cool.
Synthwave looking.
Right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like
Environment.
those be so cool for PvP maps.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah,
right
it would.
there. Like I want it, and they didn't do it, and I want to know why. You know,
S-
I don't know.
So, like, I think a Cinema
Agreed.
Nomad had like a really good point last week. Like when
Yep.
he was here, he said that like along the way, any information that we get about PvP, we consume like it's a meal, but really it's just crumbs, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like this was actually like a couple of courses at least of information that has been given to us. Now, you may not like everything that you saw in there, but at least it is some transparency.
Right.
Yeah.
My biggest thing isn't necessarily with the maps or the modes or anything along those lines. It's more about the transparency. I just wish
Mhm.
they would be more transparent. They would that they would take that to heart more often, but like because people really appreciate it when they are.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It shows on the internet, like on Twitter, except for I mean, you have the people who will always like decry Bungo, but like
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I think at least transparency wise, this was good. It did feel a little late, and
Right.
I'm hopeful for all the stuff the PvP brethren and Sistren will be getting because you know it's something.
Yeah, and I think that you made a pretty interesting point there in that this is great. It's good to hear from Joe about what's going on there. I think we got a nice little bit of insight behind the scenes there where he talks about, we have different teams working on different things. We didn't necessarily have the team to dedicate directly to Crucible content while all this was going on. While
Right.
they're pushing out this engine change with Beyond Light, they're having to rebuild things from the ground up, basically on the fly on a season by season basis. I think all of that was really important. I wish they would have said it before Beyond Light dropped.
Yeah.
If they would have just said before Beyond Light dropped, listen, got a new engine coming in. We could bring back old maps, but we're going to have to rewrite them from the ground up, so it's going to take a while. I think it probably would have cut out a lot of the more negative reactions to people wondering where the content is for Crucible.
True.
And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
On a very smaller scale, it's like, knowing that there's going to be a third person change coming. It's like,
yeah,
so that when you're frustrated, it's, oh, like just a couple more weeks. Or like you
It's
have
coming.
you have that date. You like know when or like when the new maps are coming or like even if it's a long time away, you're like, okay, like you still get to
Yeah.
hope for it,
Yeah.
instead of not knowing anything.
And I think
yeah,
that's something that like remember when like this kind of stuff would be on the roadmap that they'd give us
yeah.
and
Yeah.
then like people got frustrated with the roadmap so they stopped putting it on there. So
Yeah.
it's a damned if you do damned if you don't type situation.
Really,
Oh, definitely.
But-
truly, like the way they deliver information is also really crucial to how the community reacts to it.
Yeah.
Which, like you said, damned if you do, damned if you don't, sort of thing. Like, there's always going to be things people are mad about or dissatisfied about,
Oh, for
right?
sure.
And
Right.
Yeah.
if they're having like a situation internally where they're not making decisions in a unilateral way, which again, so many people work there, so many hands touch a video
of
game
people.
before anything happens with it, that it's having that vector to give us all what we are looking to hear is probably way more complicated. But
Yeah.
yeah, I do agree that I wish that venue did exist, to where we could hear
Yeah.
more about it more often and sooner.
Because
So
I'm looking at
Yeah.
this one right here. Like I'm looking at the tweet thread right now. And the one where he says, "When we upgraded our engine with Beyond Light, it means that we had to hand port all of our Destiny 2 maps and modes. So while it may seem from the outside like we're just pushing a button, there's a significant lift from the team to get more of this content back in rotation." That is
Yeah.
so much more information about how they needed to dev this game post Beyond
Yeah.
Light, especially like after they relit everything, after they brought everything forward for upcoming generations, or what has now released as the current generation of consoles and so forth. Like, that is an interesting bit that I wish we knew back when Beyond Light was dropping. Like, hey, we've upgraded our engine. Things are going to be a little slow coming out when it comes to reprice stuff. I wish that had been at the beginning rather
Right,
than
we would have had the
8
explanation.
months. Yeah,
Yeah.
rather than a year
Yeah.
later. So,
Because yeah, I've always been like that was one of my. You know how you can like try to craft like a really good idea to like send out a tweet or like a video or something, and then you'll just like post something real quick, like oh, there's so many maps in the unvaulted we could just use, and then like that does really well, but like there's a reason.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah.
didn't know it.
It's because they have to rebuild it from the
Right.
ground up, which takes
Right.
time. Probably a lot of time and no small amount of talent.
And I'm over here not a dev, just put it back in there.
just do it.
No,
Just hit the
it's so
button.
easy, Bungie. Control C, Control V. There you go, bro.
I did it for you.
Yeah.
Just doing like a really crude drawing of some D1 math. Look, I did it.
I went into
press the
Unity
import button.
and I built this, and it's just a
Yeah.
platform.
Oh, it's Final Destination. Yeah, it's Final Destination. No items, no guns, no
Yeah.
jumping points. Yeah, so I mean, I think overall it was good to hear from Joe here, and it was good to see that we've got some stuff coming forward. They mentioned that they're working on some new game modes. They talk about Rift, which I think is pretty interesting. Looking at bringing that back into the game. We've talked about that many times on this show. I think
That's all I
Rift,
want, bro.
Yeah.
Rift is all.
It's interesting.
The only thing.
As long as I can blink with the ball, then I'm good. But I don't think they're gonna let me.
I just
They
want to
might.
throw the
Why
ball.
wouldn't they let you? That would suck.
I don't know, because I'm gonna be running around with astrocyte and being a fast and zoomy boy, and they won't like it.
That was the strat in D1, though.
Yeah, blink, break all that tracking, and
Mm.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think DMG also tweeted like about maps and what
Mhm.
maps people would want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I have like such distinct memories of playing Rift on like Vertigo
Yeah.
and just I want that back.
I remember Bannerfall a lot.
Oh yeah,
Blinking
Bannerfall.
through the little bridges.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So good.
And Rift is a game mode that, with some of the advancements they've made in D2, with like the ability to throw things and have your
That's
teammates catch them,
true. Oh, that's really true.
Rift could be nutty. Like we could
Yeah.
have Space Jam in Destiny, and like
And
I'm all about it.
I wonder
Go
how
on.
that would be with 11 possible receivers.
Oh, you're getting
No.
intercepted
Yeah,
all the
that's
time.
going down the aim assist for sure.
Yeah.
I could I could rant for hours about like game modes and I can't do it. I would take 4 hours, but like they've done it with Scorch and they've done it with a couple other things. I really enjoy the uniqueness and like the fun, silly playlists that you can do.
Yeah.
And I wish there was more of that. Like there's so many potential things you could do that I like force myself to do because I want it. I'll just go into a crucible match with double snipers because I'm a troll and it's fun. And I wish there was a mode for that, you know?
Yeah, and I think Bungie with Destiny in particular has so much open space they could use with that sort of thing.
I know.
And they explore it just a little bit with stuff like Scorched, where it's like you go in
Okay.
with nothing but Scorch cannons. They could have an all sword game mode.
Right?
They could have
All exotics.
all
Do
exotic
so
game
many
mode.
things. Like that's why I don't, because Bungie did Halo 3, arguably, in my opinion, the best social and ranked playlist of all time. Like
Absolutely.
having the separate where you just like don't care, have fun, just do whatever you want. And then you can have the serious modes where you try and like get some teams and like rank up. And I would the things I would do to have that in this game, you have no idea. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
And they explored a little bit of that with Crucible Labs, and like
Mhm.
then that disappeared.
Yeah.
But I would love to see them explore some of that creativity a little bit. We talked a bit last week with Ascendant Nomad about this too. He wants to see more objective-based games like Capture the Flag and all that kind of stuff. And it's always been really weird to me that we went from the Bungie that had all those game modes in
Right.
Halo 2 and Halo 3 to like never implementing it here in Destiny 2, where I think it would be Capture the Flag with the verticality and the movement
Right.
system we have in D2 would just be so much kinetic fun. And
Imagine like an oddball, but with Destiny. You get a massive overshield and you gotta team him to take it down.
right? There's so many things they could do there, and I really hope in the future that they do start to go down that avenue of more creative game modes that aren't just, as Nomad put it, variations of Slayer.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I mean, we had what was it? What was the big team game mode in D1? Combined Arms.
Combined arms.
Where like you could get in a tank and the Thresher and stuff like that and run people over.
My
I
favorite
would
thing
love
to
to
do
see-
is run people over with an interceptor. That is like
Or the sparrows. The ultimate flex.
I will
is
do
getting
that to my
someone
fire team like
sparrow.
during patrols and stuff, just because it brings me joy.
I'll do
Rude.
that during a raid. That'd be
Mhm.
great.
Well, Dan.
Anybody want to raid?
Absolutely. I trust you implicitly.
Where are you getting an interceptor in a raid? Hold on.
I'm talking about sparrows here.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was
it's
a
just
sparrow.
sparrows,
Yeah.
striped sparrows. Okay.
I'm like,
That's a little bit more
we-
difficult.
A little
Little
fun
more
fact: we
effort.
tried. What's the first encounter in the Deepstone Crypts? The with all the
oh,
tubes
security.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Security. Yeah, you can ride because you ride your pikes or your sparrows in there. We like rode 6 pikes in there and like tried to last as long as we can in that room with our pikes. It was very fun.
Go.
But you only get one attempt if you fail.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think that there's so many creative things that Bungie could do there. Maybe we should do a quick roundtable here on game mode. Since Joe, you said you didn't want to talk 3 hours on this, I'm gonna see if I can make you. What game mode in particular would you love to absolutely see here in D2?
Well, I mean, the main thing I could rant about is the social and the ranked playlists. Like having some like elite form of PvP that people can just grind for. And there's so many things you could put into Destiny that wouldn't even give you an advantage in game. It's just like a flex to have. Remember the katana sword in Halo 3? I know you remember the katana sword.
Yep.
Like getting emblems or shaders or ghosts or like anything that you could like grind up for that specific, and having a ranked mode for each specific playlist, like a skirmish and then a control or a
Rumble.
clash.
Yeah.
Like all of these separate
Yeah.
have their own ranking systems, and then they're like social versions where you can just play to have fun, and then like the really crazy versions where you just like do whatever, like the shoddy snipers, or I mean even wasn't shoddy snipers ranked too, or was that team snipers? I don't remember. It's been so
Might have
long
been Team
since I played.
Snipers.
Might have been team snipers.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick like a fun silly, I put months of my life into the SWAT playlist. I've had, is it momentum control where you can like one tap with a jade?
Yes.
Yeah, I fulfilled a little bit of my fantasy with that. That was a fun mode, just getting to go around. I just wish it was more even playing field. Like everybody gets like similar guns or like something like that to even play field a little bit. So yeah, SWAT would be my choice.
I like that too. Momentum control is, in my opinion, the game mode in Destiny that's closest to like a classic Call of Duty feel.
Yeah,
Where you
yeah,
just
the
get
time to kill's nuts.
erased by anything. And if they could balance weapons out a little bit better so that
Mhm.
you're not just whipping out a trace rifle and erasing everything in sight in an inordinate amount of time, I would love to dive back into momentum control. But yeah,
Yeah.
like something like Team SWAT momentum control I think works great. I love that you don't necessarily have one of Destiny's biggest benefits in the radar to just sit back and rely on. It makes flanking actually possible. I love everything about momentum control. It reminds me of my roots in Call of Duty. So I think that something like Team SWAT will work. Dan, what
Yeah.
about you? What game mode would you love to see?
So, I keep thinking about the games where there's a squad up against one person, right? Where where
Yeah.
you could just buff
Like a juggernaut.
the shit out
Yeah.
of one person's health, and then
Yeah.
they're the big bad that you have to take down. So and
Like a
maybe
Dead by Daylight sort
yeah
of
yeah
situation.
Right.
and put
That would work so well in this game mode too.
Yeah.
like you put what was the mode where you had to set the charge? It was a competitive mode.
Countdown.
Yeah, countdown. So
Yeah, countdown.
you put 4 of those around the map, right?
Mhm.
So you have to get all 4 of them before the big bad kills you at the end of the map. That would be
I
cool.
dig that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dig that.
What's the name of your what's the name for your playlist? Big bad boy.
Bad boy.
It may not be appropriate for stream. I don't know.
Even better.
I don't know. I'm bad at naming things off the cuff.
That's fair.
Moon, what would
Yeah,
you name it?
didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Oh God, I'm pretty basic. I already said it. Rift, just Rift. I want to play Rift with the movement that we have
Oh yeah.
in D2 as opposed to D1. Because I think that would be absolutely batshit. I think my only concern would be like how stasis would contend.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Throw
With
some
just
dust
short
field
stopping
nades
people and-
on the rift.
And getting intercepted and stuff.
Yeah.
Because that might be kind of hairy to deal with.
Yeah.
But yeah. And like it's difficult for me to bring a more nuanced answer like you guys because D1 was my first FPS ever, right? So I don't have a huge frame of reference for any of that. But yeah,
Man,
that's basically my answer.
imagining Shadebinder in Rift. You're
Yeah,
just
I
gonna
want to
ruin
know
people's day.
because that is a thing that they were talking about. They were like, but how? How are you going to balance that? How are you going to make sure that's not the most annoying thing ever to play against, right?
Just disable it for rift. I don't know.
No stasis.
Maybe.
Jesus.
Nobody
I like
gets
That's what I'm talking
abilities.
about though. They
Jax gives you a
should-
hammer, and that's all you get. You just go.
I'll be fine with that. I
Yeah.
want there to be a playlist where but Destiny is all about earning your guns and getting to rep them. So I don't
Mhm.
know. Once we're in so deep that I don't know if they can just give you a simplified, basic stat roll scout to load into a game or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean they could, but I don't know if they want
I mean,
to.
they keep giving you blue armor and blue weapons. That could be it.
Dude.
The Sandbox
the
is
sheer
so
the sheer
complicated.
fear in your friend's voice and your fire team, and he's like, "Oh my god, like that just went to the postmaster. I don't know if I lost my ascendant shards. Go to the tower right now, right now."
God.
Yeah, auto shard for blues.
Yep.
Please, Bungie.
Oslo in the chat did bring up Scorch cannons in like the Team Scorch modes. So like it is possible for them to rearrange, the
Yeah.
gun, the
But you
loadout
can't
situation.
drop the scorch cannon, right?
You can't.
Like it's like
No, it's
glued
on
to
you.
your fists.
It's yours.
Yeah.
It's your scorch cannon.
So they can do stuff like that. I would always love to see. This is something we brought up a long time ago after they introduced Team Scorched. It's funny how far we've come, with bringing back D1 content like Vault of Glass and all that kind of stuff. But I always wanted to have a game mode similar to what you said, Dan, where like one person becomes like this empowered player. This takes me back to the days of there was a GoldenEye remake on the Nintendo Wii and on the PS3 that was just it was fantastic. It was basically GoldenEye, but in a Call of Duty engine. It was put out by Activision back then, and it had a game mode in it called Heroes. And it was basically one random person on the team gets turned into a hero character from 007's history. You might become Scaramanga, you might become Odd Job, or any of that kind of stuff. And you have just super juiced up stats. Massive armor, you have a weapon that's usually way more powerful than everything else, but you're slow, and other people have to protect you, because everybody can see where you're at on the map at all times. So I would love it if we had something like that, but you mix in like the relic from Vault of Glass. One relic drops per team, and then you could just have one person with a relic trying to defend and attack and all that kind of stuff. They have these systems in the game.
They have the potential.
There's the potential is there, and like they haven't used it thus far. But I think having relics in there would be really, really interesting because the Vogue relic right now can do so many different things. It's got a projectile super tied to it. It's got a pretty interesting slam attack. It's got a shield that sometimes works, only sometimes. I think a game mode with that on maybe a larger map like some of the ones we used to get back in Combined Arms, like First Light and all that, would be really, really interesting. And maybe so that it's not just a kill farming game mode for whoever has the relic, make it a heavily objective based mode like King of the Hill or something, but with relics. I think that'd be really interesting, really fun. It'd be goofy like Mayhem. It's something you wouldn't have to take too seriously.
Oh, also just made a good point. The hive swords, when they like charge up and you can use the super on the ground or like or even like shoot one across the map, like you could just make a game mode with the hive swords. That'd be great.
That would be fantastic, and Bungie wouldn't have to worry about them breaking momentum because they already destroyed the sword glide.
That's true.
That'd be great. I would love that. You could call it Highlander. There can be only one. It's free for all, but with swords.
Wow.
On the map, Bogwater.
Yeah, there you go. But the point is, these systems are available in game right now, and I hope that as we move forward into the future, Bungie starts experimenting a little bit more with that, because there could be a lot of fun to be had there. Definitely. Well, I think that probably breaches the normal Crucible conversation.
Yeah.
We had a pretty meaty TWAB to talk about, and technically the TWAB has to do with a lot of Crucible stuff too. In that TWAB, we learned about a lot of changes that are going to be coming next season and beyond. I think they talked about the way they're going to be separating melee actions, which is interesting for you hunters out there. You're not gonna have your throwing knife eaten by the random thrall that decides to protect the president by jumping in front of you and making you stab. How do you guys feel about that? Good change? Bad change?
Necessary change.
Yeah.
Yeah, option 3.
I don't even. Well, no, it happens on controller too, but it's mainly on PC because you have so many inputs you could use. But hearing friends rage about that. I mean, I don't play Hunter that much, but I go play Goldie, and it takes about 30 seconds. Like, no, don't melee. Throw your throwing knife.
Yeah.
I think
it's I was gonna say, as a warlock main, it really throws me off every time I go to play my hunter, and it's like, oh yeah, I have a throwing knife. Oh, I stabbed. Oops.
Or like trying to melee somebody and throwing a smoke, and you're like, no, dude.
Nobody got time for this. Ew.
Hunters, who needs them?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So there's.
I think it's an interesting conversation, especially like when it comes to controller, just because you do have so many inputs, like only so many.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can like route some of these specifically if you have like back paddles.
Oh, probably.
Probably.
I mean, you can
maybe.
map the controller any way you want to now, right?
Pretty sure.
I think
well,
so.
if it's not a recognized, I don't know.
Yeah.
Can somebody in chat confirm that? Am I making that up?
I mean, people have used back paddles for like dodging and crouching before, so why would I don't think the melee would be any different. But I'm not sure.
Gotcha.
Right.
Z-Dog says you can.
I don't know if we can trust now.
Oh, wow.
He's my mod. I'm allowed to give him.
Unbelievable.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's. I agree that it's a necessary change. It's something that needed to happen there. And the way they're doing it is they're breaking it up into 3 different categories. I think they said auto melee, charged melee, and uncharged melee that you'll be able to set up to different keys. And I think they give the example of putting charged melee on the same key as whatever your finisher button is. If you're using controller, like right control stick, and that way, if you got an enemy within finishable range, you'll always finish them. If not, you'll always use your charged melee. And I think this is definitely a great quality of life change moving forward. Probably specifically for hunters. I think that's the class most affected by this. I know everybody here can think of an awkward moment when their throwing knife got screwed up, or like Joey said, throwing a smoke grenade when it's like, ew, I didn't want this.
No,
Good
thank
stuff.
you.
Yeah. I think it's a good change to have, and you know they're making a lot of those moving forward into next season. Maybe not so much with this next change because I don't know who was asking for it,
Are you about to say
but
the S word?
stasis.
I was gonna
Slide?
say sliding. Yeah.
Yeah, it was sliding.
Uh-huh.
Slide.
Yeah, that was
Big
the
nerf.
big point of contention this week on Twitter, huh?
It's funny. It's like because they sandwiched it right after the news about them nerfing stasis freeze, which is like a great thing. It's like, oh, and by the way, if you're a slide shotgunner, rip.
Hey, we're fixing the melee button so you can have something now. Oh, Stasis got nerfed again. There's a slide change. Anyway, Titans get a new route.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, sandwich that you sandwich that pill in there. But what are they doing to it? It's like minus 20 stability,
Plus
15%.
15%.
Shotgun spread,
Ooh,
1.5 times the flinch as well.
ooh,
Mm-hmm.
like how do we feel about that?
I mean, you
I-
mentioned Shake earlier, and that boy's. Ooh, my heart goes out
Man's
to him.
not happy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out on the limb here. I will go on the record. This change is not gonna be that big of a deal.
Okay.
I feel like it's being blown out of proportion. I don't think people are even gonna be able to tell.
Really?
Just
Chat,
me.
clip it.
Clip
Okay.
it. Clip it and send me your clips of Shotty's raging. That would make me happy. But no, like on paper it sounds terrifying, but like and people are asking me, I mean it's not going to affect me that much as a sniper because I can still slide in and like as long as the flinch is already terrible, so I don't care. Make it go
Yeah.
higher, whatever. But the stability, it doesn't really matter that much when you're sliding in for like most weapons, and then the shotgun spread, like people are using slugs now anyways, so
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. But people are just like when I heard slide nerf, I was like, oh no, did they put a cooldown on it or something? I was like, that's going to
Yeah.
be terrible.
That'd
And
be
I was
bad.
like, oh, it's 1.5 flinch and 15. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. Like it's I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal at all.
Yeah, I initially thought it was like how long you could slide
Yeah,
That's what I was
or
worried
distance. With it being stability, I was like, ha, I never slide with
Right.
the shotgun at all. So this is fine by me. Cool. Neat.
Yeah.
I was I was afraid. I blink like half of my personality is blinking and then sliding away once I land. So I was afraid they were gonna cap that and then I'd be screwed. But no, it's just a little nerf. It's fine. Don't
I
worry
just
about
went
it.
shotgun. I feel like my opinion is completely moot here because that's just not the way I play anyway.
Maybe
Sorry,
the
y'all, if you're
shotgun
mad about it.
spread-
I just can't.
Shotgun spread could be annoying, but it's
Yeah.
gonna be Chaperone City next season anyway. So
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Which is funny, you know, because slugs aren't going to be affected by the whole pellet spread thing there.
I know.
Nope.
And so it's just everybody's going to move. Well, everybody's already moved to slugs thus far.
Done.
I was so as a guy who likes shotguns, I like again. I'm your average shotgun enjoying ape. I'm an old school Call of Duty guy. Of course, I love shotguns, but
Take a shot every time TBL mentions his Call of Duty origins.
it's
Jenny,
where
I need the
I'm
whiskey.
at. Oh, you're dead tonight. It's over. Alcohol poisoning.
Halfway
It's
through the twab, it's just
done.
like. So, anyways, we're gonna move on.
By the way, this reminds
Joey,
me of
it's been real
something
good to
in
have you.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. But, the minus 20 to stability didn't bother me too much because it's a shotgun. Stability's not really going to be the biggest affecting thing there. The 1.5 times flinch thing I think is interesting for those who use fusion rifles because isn't it that kickstart ability on fusions kicks in after you slide, right?
Yes.
How is that going to affect them? I'm more worried for them than I was for shotguns. Like I said, I agreed with you guys. I was when I heard shotgun nerf because I'm usually at work when the TWAB drops, so like I'll pull up Twitter and see what everybody's complaining about. And when I started seeing freaking out about sliding, I thought like you guys, oh no, they either put a cooldown on it or they cut sliding range in half, which would have been awful. And I thought, oh well, these changes are pretty moderate. It'll be interesting to see what the 15% pellet spread does to guns like Fell Winners and Found Verdict, which has really been kind of shooting up in usage since VOG came out. but I wonder how it's going to affect some of the fusion rifles that are out there that are seeing admittedly limited play, but play nonetheless. I'm more worried about how flinch affects those than anything else. But who knows? Nobody.
We'll see.
Bungie doesn't like fusions anyway.
Single tier.
Single tier.
What do
Pouring
you
out
mean,
them.
TBL?
Well,
They
they
just
gotta
released.
keep.
They just released one as a Grandmaster reward.
Did you get one?
Oh, I have 7.
Oh, you have
Are
any
any
good
of
ones?
Do you have any good ones?
No.
No.
I gave up on plug ones. I've gotten exactly one all season, and I'm not going back into Grandmasters. Cowards, bring back Pocket Infinity. Do it.
Ugh.
Do it. It'll never
Ugh.
happen, but
It
do it.
won't. Absolutely not.
Completely busted POS.
I think you made a good point. I think that you're right. The sliding nerf is gonna hurt fusions the most, honestly, now that I think
Yeah.
about it. I just associated with shotgunning, but you're right. That's so.
Okay, Bungie. Now make
think-
fusion stronger.
Gotta make
But-
fusion stronger.
To be fair, like the most, I hate going up against a really good fusion, like fusion player, because they just have that peak shot down, and
Yeah.
it's more so like the like charge and then turn. It's not really sliding, so maybe it won't
Right.
affect them that much. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it was just one of the things that popped up in my head. Like, I wonder how
Right.
this is going to affect fusions more than shotguns, since those will probably be fine either way.
But how is it going to affect grenade launch? No, I'm just kidding.
The question
Grenade
we
launchers?
should all be asking ourselves.
What are those?
God.
What do you think they're going to do with grenade launchers? Because I
I
think they
don't
said they're going to
know.
be addressing it someday. But
They
what do
were
they
a
do about it?
mistake. Take 'em out. In my rage phase, whenever you die to one, I'm just like, dude, special grenade launchers were a mistake. Like, why are they a thing? I don't know. They said, did they already do the patch? No, they're gonna like touch up Fighting Lion and others to make it more like about getting them weak and then trying to finish them with
Yeah.
the primary. And not,
Yeah,
because you can do, man. I was
It's
doing some
ridiculous.
disgusting things with Fighting Lion last weekend. Like I kind of hated myself, but it was so much fun too.
Fallout has a video I was fortunate enough to be in where we were all just, I think fours were still a thing too, all just in a
Yeah.
match with Fighting Lion, and it's disgusting. Like you said, the things you can do.
It's weird because the entire meta of special weapons, from the design standpoint, is they're weapons that have one-shot capability, but different play styles. Like snipers, long range, going for headshots. Fusions are supposed to be kind of like the anti-shotgun sort of mid-range killer. Shotguns are, of course, supposed to be the close range, quick action killer. Grenade launchers, I guess, are supposed to fit in there as like the one-shot body shot killer, but they cause so many other problems. And now with the meta of like blinding nades popping up, it's just, even if you're not using those, Fighting Lion on its own is just a ridiculous weapon in the hands of somebody who can aim, which is...
Well, I mean, that's why grenade launchers can be so antithetical to, like, when people complain about the skill gap. You said it yourself, one shot body shot, that's just not supposed to be a thing, right?
Yep.
So, I don't know.
It's weird because they have that design quality of being able to one shot. Special weapons should be able to one shot, but they cover all the ranges. Mid range doesn't matter.
Right.
Close range doesn't matter. Long range doesn't matter. And even if you don't land the body shot on like one person, you can chain reaction with them. You can blind with them. They're ridiculous all across the board. And I have to wonder if the Sandbox team at Bungie sits back sometimes and is just like,
Fuck yeah, grenade launcher.
we made a slight mistake.
What have I done?
Oops.
I think that's what
Anakin at the end of Star Wars.
What have I done?
What have I done?
I think that's the reason for the artifact this season, right? Like, hey, you guys like grenade launchers, huh? Go on, have a ball. Next season, you don't even fucking want to work with it.
You like
Wait, well,
anarchy?
and
Oh no.
Anarchy, you're not gonna get to play with it. It's not.
I miss Colony.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a little bit controversial, but oh my god,
Gross.
Colony. So fun.
I mean, it got its 15 seconds of fame.
Sure did.
Fun
Probably
fact: this
it's the worst.
is totally random, and I've never like clarified. But when you shoot a colony shot, I already told you I'm a Halo nerd. There's a little noise that it makes. It sounds exactly like one of those little squid flood things that like crawl around on the ground. And I've
Yeah,
wanted to like go in and test if it's literally the exact noise taken from it, because that'd be a cool Easter egg. But I've never gone on and do that. So somebody do that for me and let me know.
it might be. It might be a
I'm not
leftover
gonna
resource.
try to recreate the noise, but
Yeah,
it makes a
that's some,
noise.
hey Joey, that's some TikTok content right there.
Well, we'll see. I'm gonna sound like what were those? Gremlin? No. There was like a World of Warcraft. Murgles?
Oh,
Is that-
or yeah, the things. Yeah,
Murlocs?
guys, Murloc. That's it. Thank you.
Murlocs,
There
you go.
Semi-sentient
Moon.
little fish people.
Holding this down. Thank you.
Oh, I wouldn't know that if
we
it
need
wasn't
you,
for other
Moon.
people, but there's a weird creature in a video game. I probably love it. So.
Speaking of weird creatures, when are we gonna get that like fish pet that the stranger had?
Oh, the guppy?
That's
I was
the-
thinking about
that's
that
the real
other
thing I
day.
want to update on Bungie.
Yeah.
Come on, give me
Yeah.
some transparency.
I want the
Why
guppy.
did they show that to us and then just
Where's
not
my
elaborate
flying
in game,
fish?
dude? What was that?
Yeah, I want my goldfish ghost. Thank you. Or whatever it is. Antique ghost. Whatever it is
Wasn't
for the
a
dark.
ghost. We don't know what it is.
It's a guppy.
Cool.
Oh,
It's just a pet.
Yeah.
I
Pets
want
and-
one.
Pets in Destiny 2. When?
It sold a lot of copies of Destiny 2.
like it has a centerpiece in like one of the premiere cutscenes for Beyond Light. It just kind of pops up like, oh, it's the center of attention, and then just you never see it again.
The fuck is
Like,
that
oh.
thing? We still don't.
I don't
Okay.
often feel hoodwinked by a video game, but like that. Come on, that shit was
Waited.
cool.
Bamboozled.
Literally
Completely debated.
true.
That's funny.
I guess we should move on with some
Yeah.
of this, some of these sandbox things. I think
we
Titan
sidetracked hard.
changes,
Yeah. Titan's got barricade changes.
good barricade changes, as I
Yeah.
recall.
The rally barricade, standing behind the rally barricade now also provides the following weapon buffs: plus 30 stability, plus 10% range, and negative 50% flinch. So if you want to slide behind a rally barricade, that'll work for you.
Right.
All barricades, players moving at high velocity now take more damage when moving through hostile Titan barricades.
Huh.
And barricades now slightly protrude into the ground to better protect the Titan's feet on uneven ground. This should reduce instances where explosions and projectiles are able to sneak through the bottom of the barricades and hit the Titan.
I don't know why it sounds so funny. Slightly protruding the ground to better protect the Titan's feet.
Little feetsies,
Little feetsies.
delicate little toes.
Explosion. Stop playing footsies with your Titan.
Like, just imagine the barricade like hugging on like the guardian, like, I'll protect you.
Got you.
Nothing can hurt you
Oh
here.
my god. So
Good
I was running
changes
a GM.
overall.
I was running a GM earlier on Titan, and I threw the barricade up, and I just, like that splash damage right underneath the thing.
Yeah.
It's like when you're using the bathroom, and there's like that slight gap,
Oh no.
and somebody walks up, and you're like, "It's occupied. It's occupied," but then they bust down the
They
door,
open the door
and then
anyway,
hit you with a water balloon. It's like that. You
Yeah.
know that common thing that everybody's had happen to them at least twice?
Universal
It's fine.
experience.
Yeah.
hmm
We might need to follow up on that later, Dan. But I think it's interesting, some of the rally changes here. It's kind of like y'all remember that bird from D1, Gorilla Fighter, that nobody used. It was like when you cover shoot, you get a bunch of. It was really strong. You got a bunch of ridiculous benefits when you cover shoot. But who in their right mind was cover shooting in Destiny 1? It's like they took that and added it to Rally Barricade, and I'm all for it. It's good.
I
Good stuff.
always forget that that's a mechanic in this game. You
Right?
can go up to like a ledge and then like press aim and it'll like put you over. And you're like, what? Like, that's a thing?
Whoa. Yeah, it's an entire system, a mechanic built into the game that nobody uses
Yep.
because there weren't really many areas that were conducive to that sort of play. And I am glad to see that they're adding some of those benefits to rallies here. It's good stuff. It's funny because like there was an episode, one of my favorite Destiny podcasts of all time was Crucible Radio back in the day. And yeah, they
My
had some of
boys.
Boys.
the homies.
Even though Swain hates pears, but he's still my friend.
Swain hates pears and tomatoes.
He calls himself a chef. We sidetracked again. Anyways, Crucible
That's good.
Radio.
Great show. But I was just going to say, they had some of the devs on one time and they were talking about Guerrilla Fighter. And they're like, yeah, we made this perk and like it was super powerful, but nobody used it and it made us sad. I was like, well, there's nowhere to cover shoot in Destiny. Who does that? Well, maybe we will now with Rally Barricades.
I wonder how much more we're gonna be seeing the Titan's Rampart
Oh God.
bullshit.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah.
Don't be everywhere.
With this buff.
Gonna
Oh.
see
And
Hopefully
especially third person peeking being gone, we're gonna see a lot of Titan barricades and a lot of dodging into walls and shadow diving into walls and other things.
fun times
And also
ahead.
Striker is getting buffed, so you know,
Yup.
season
got
of
a
the Titans.
Yeah, a lot of light subclasses are getting buffed, it turns out. Except
Mhm.
Spectral Blades. That's getting nerfed. And I find
Good.
that hilarious.
I just want to
Oh.
throw a Nova Bomb that's not like pea-sized, like a tiny little rain puddle. That's
If
all
you
I
could
want.
bring back one of the D1 Nova Bomb styles, what would it be?
Oh, Shatter, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. I miss
Yeah.
my Lance. Lance was
Lance.
That was good.
fun.
Just long balling it across the
Yeah.
map
The
onto
no,
a point and killing 4 people when you can't even see them.
the no escape Nova Bomb. Yeah, Lance was
Yeah.
pretty good.
It's called Lance.
So what was I think next up was what Behemoth changes because that's seeing
right.
a couple of buffs. I think Bungie mentioned in the TWAB that they're that they might have overdone it a little bit on some of the movement nerfs to Behemoth, so they're getting some of that back, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, increased duration of screen effects notifying players that Cryoclasm long slide is ready from 1 second, and they're increasing that to about 4.5 seconds. I think is what it says here.
Not bad. I know
Yeah.
Shiver Strike was having like a movement speed increase of like 25%, which
Mhm.
is not bad. I'll take it.
Is
I,
that just any of the melee or specifically during super? It's
think
any
it's
time they use it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's like their melee ability.
Yeah.
The other Cryoclasm change is that while it's equipped, the base slide now shatters crystals and frozen enemies. So, yikes.
He's gonna have a Titan tumbling into people in super and breaking them, which is beautiful. I mean, that's the way it works when you make the crystals with that one stasis ability. You just slide into them to break them. So
Yeah.
I suppose it makes
True.
sense.
True.
After that was what? Sunbreaker?
Middle Tree Sunbreaker.
Hammer stuff, right?
Throwing
Yeah.
hammers, increase time before hammer explodes after hitting the ground from 6.5 seconds to 10 seconds.
Good stuff.
And increase the damage versus powerful PvE combatants by around 50%.
I misheard and I thought that was literally like the super. It's like the super's gonna land on the ground and not blow up for 10 seconds.
Lasting impression, bro.
Hot hams.
Sunbreakers become like a demolitionist class.
Laying the charge. It's like,
Mhm.
again, like you said, Call of Duty, C4 sandwich, baby. Toss it down and wait.
That would actually be cool as shit.
Give us explosives, Bungie. How about that?
When they
I think that would be cool.
when
Yeah.
they tune the light subclasses, hopefully to be more in line with how stasis works. If you get an aspect that allows you to throw a hammer at something and have it be like a lasting impression hammer,
Oh, man.
I want that.
That could be interesting. Set
Bungie,
up
take
plays.
it. It's free.
Great idea. We take this.
Damage is going to be
This
increased
one's
as
free.
well. So.
The first hit is free, always. Next idea is going to cost you. I think that would work too. I mean, I think you could do that. Make a permutation of sort of the sticky grenades for hunters and like turn it into, rather than having it being a claymore, turn it into a C4. And let it arm itself and detonate when you hit a button. There's
So
cool things they could do with stuff like that. Striker changes after that, I think.
Striker changes. Fists of Havoc increase
That's
slam
more.
detonation radius by 14%, reduce
Why?
slam damage fall off, and they reduce the slam attack activation cost from 21% to 18%.
You got some problems with that, Moon?
I don't know. I've just, Striker Titans have always been powerful, in my opinion. So, It's just kind of scary to me. It's a little bit spooky. I don't
Right.
know. That's it. That's all I have to say about it. Like the mobility and the damage put together. I don't know, man.
Right. And
It's
getting that
fun.
in,
It's ridiculously fun to play,
yeah.
but yeah.
I think the big thing there is well, getting that reduced activation cost is pretty huge, but
That is
the
true.
bigger detonation radius for what was
Yeah.
already a pretty good detonation radius is going to be interesting to play with.
And then
Um
the fucking Yeet Titan is getting some stuff too, right?
Yup. Inertia
Like-
override. Increased duration from 4 seconds to 6. And sliding over an ammo brick now grants 20% melee energy.
That's such a wild addition. Like the
Yeah.
Galaxy Brain. Definitely came up with that one. Interesting, though.
You know what's interesting in that part of the TWAB? I might have to bring it up here, but I think they mention like really quickly, just like we said earlier, where they mention all these good things and then slide in the
Wait.
sliding nerf there. They mention really quickly, I think, that they're gonna be having some other balance changes that they haven't mentioned yet.
Yeah.
What do you think that might be? What balance changes might be coming to Middle Tree Striker? The
Don't say it.
Yeet Titan.
Don't say it. Please don't say
Hmm. I think
Say the
a
words.
falling star might be getting snuffed out a little bit
it.
when it comes and it's man, you know it's going to be a change that they don't announce until after the patch comes out and like they throw up the patch notes. By the way, falling star 50% damage nerf.
Okay, bye. We're not going to talk about it for another 3 months.
Yeah, then we won't hear anything. You
Yeah.
know they're going to do it.
Okay, have fun. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rest in peace. We all know it's coming. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Good lord, in PvE, that class is just silly. And I don't necessarily want them to change that though. Like I would much rather them retune up stuff like the Celestial one shot, and especially the Skull of Dire Kara has been in dire need of a buff for a long, long time.
Dire need.
Uh-huh.
It's in huh?
Hmm.
That's what I'm here for. But
Sorry.
I mean, I think rather than just destroying that really fun option for Titans, I would rather see them give a buff to Celestial Nighthawk,
Yeah.
and Skull or something like that for Warlocks.
Mhm.
I don't know. I hate nerfs.
Top Tree Sentinel is getting an adjustment where the Ward of Dawn increased damage taken from bosses from 0.25 times to 7 times at 0
That's
resilience.
insane.
And damage taken can scale down to 0.25 times based on the owner's resilience stat. So they're tying it more closely into that, which I think makes sense.
So if the way I took that was that this isn't necessarily your resistance in the bubble, it's the strength of the bubble itself.
Right.
Like it's the amount of damage the bubble itself can take before it gets popped by an attack, which is a little. I can understand tying it to resilience, making it so that 0 resilience you have 7 times the current amount of damage you have now. Are you gonna get like one boss stomp and your bubble pops?
Probably.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be a little. That's gonna be a little bit weird to deal with. I mean,
They
clearly,
Seems like they don't want you bubbling on the boss anymore.
yeah, don't do that.
yeah, right?
Don't do that.
No more dropping bubble on boss strat, which is
a prophecy staple, we all know.
Pour one out for Rachel. Miss Love Rachel.
Unfortunate.
rest
Yeah.
in peace.
I mean, just push up your resilience, bro. Just push it up.
Yeah, get that max resilience,
Yeah.
bro. Which, I mean, if you're a PvP person, you should be running at least marginally high resilience anyway.
Yeah.
But interesting change. I think they make the same change to Well of Radiance later on in this TWAB, which is gonna be fun to deal with. What do we got after that?
We're moving on to Hunters. The Silence and Squall. We feel we hit Withering Blade slightly too hard in last season's stasis balancing. The following change should make it slightly easier to land while keeping the damage and slow duration at a reasonable spot. Silence and Squall increase the Squall movement speed by 20%. Squall Storm now stops when it touches a boss. And
a good
Withering
change.
Blade has an increased projectile speed and tracking by 10%.
Didn't they just nerf the projectile and tracking speed of Withering Blade?
That sounds right.
Something like that, right? So they're just kind of pulling back on some of those nerfs. Seems about right. You know, it's funny. Something that's covered here is they're reversing some nerfs to both Behemoth and Revenant, but when it comes to Shadebinder, only more nerfs because Warlocks are the redheaded stepchild. Only
Truly.
more nerfs.
Truly.
What do we got after that?
Middle Tree Gunslinger has Knife Trick increased burning duration from 3 seconds to 4.
I'll
We
take
have
that.
Top Tree Gunslinger 6-shooter damage fall off now starts at 25 meters instead of 20. I think the biggest one here outside of the Revenant changes. Arc Strider has Arc Staff extended passive super duration from 16 seconds to 20.
Yeah.
Increased Heavy Slam detonation radius from 5 meters to 6 meters. They increased the damage versus PvE combatants by 33%. It's back on the menu, guys. Top Tree Arc Strider Deadly Reach increased duration from 8 seconds to 10, and Middle Tree Arc Strider Lightning Weave. Dealing damage with Tempest Strike now triggers Lightning Weave. Timer
Right.
can now be extended by dealing damage with any weapon.
Yeah, Arc Strider needed
A huge,
Huge
yeah.
buff.
so like that's completely.
Yeah, it needed a buff so badly. I don't even know what some of these things are.
Neither does anyone else
Well-
because nobody was using it.
I like the
What
heavy
is
slam
Lightning
detonation.
Weave?
I like the heavy slam detonation and the increased damage
Right.
to PvE combatants. Like, because you were basically useless if you were
Yeah,
running Arc
nobody
Strider.
fucking played Arc Strider PVE.
I mean,
So,
I did. I used to
Did
back
you?
in the. I used to back in the day. Back when like
did.
that was kind of the strat
Yeah.
when you were
Well,
like.
I mean, like now, right?
Well, I
in the
mean,
past,
now
what,
I'm a
2,
Titan
3?
main for until Witch Queen. But like when I do
Forever.
play, when I
You're a
do
Titan
play
main
on my
forever.
hunter, I like running Arc Strider,
Yeah.
and it just sucks because every time you jump up in the air, you use your staff to slam on any boss. They're like, you jerk, and then they stomp you and then fly you
Stomp
off
you
into the
away.
distance, right? So.
Yeah.
You know, I like this change. That's huge for folks.
yeah.
I think these are some definite necessary changes moving forward. The biggest one for me is the Lightning Weave Tempest
Mhm.
Strike change. Tempest Strike should have always triggered Lightning Weave, and it kind of blows my mind that it shipped without doing that. So I'm really happy that they're making that change.
For those who don't know, unlike me, of course, but for people who don't, what is Lightning Weave?
The melee that
Yeah,
Is that the one that travels on the ground? I thought that was Tempest. What's Tempest Strike?
Tempest
The-
Strike is when you slide and then do the little uppercut with the
Oh, then what's Lightning
the
Wave?
staff. And lightning
doesn't it make the reload speed increased? Am I making that up?
Fast reload.
Fast reloads.
What
yeah,
is that?
it's the buff that goes
Dork
along
your
with
sleep.
it.
Okay. So if you what is it now? If you kill somebody with it, you get the buff?
If you dealing well, never mind. I was talking about the changes. Go ahead.
It's dealing damage with Tempest Strike will now trigger that reload
Okay.
speed buff.
Well, now get that buff. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And you can, and it's a timer, so it's not like a one-time thing. And now after you've gotten that, after you've gotten Lightning Weave going, any kill or
Gotcha,
any
gotcha.
damage you
Damage.
deal is going to keep it
So
going,
it's
which is
essentially just kind of like an outlaw perk? Or
yeah, kind of.
Okay, cool.
Which is the fact that you'll be able to keep it going with any damage you deal after that is super huge. Keep that offense going, and boom, super
Yeah.
reload speed.
Gotcha.
Spectral Blades reduce damage reduction during super from 52% to 47%, and they reduced additional DR when invisible from 5% to 3%.
It slapped. I mean, Spectral Blades is still really, really strong. It weirds me out a little bit that they only made, at least they've only told us about Spectral Blade changes. I was looking forward to hearing about changes for both Top Tree and Bottom Tree for Night Stalkers. I think those are two classes that could use a bit of a buff when it comes to both PvE and PvP. But who knows? Maybe that'll be something we learn about later.
Heck yeah. Moving on to Warlocks.
Yay.
Shadebinder, Winter's Wraith, reduce shatter pulse damage versus close-up supers. Warlock must now freeze and shatter twice to defeat players in Burning Maul, Fist of Havoc, Sentinel Shield, Nova Warp, Arc Staff, or Spectral Blades. Glacial Quake still only requires one shatter to defeat.
Oh wow.
How do you feel about that?
That's nice. I like it.
I
I don't
think-
think Shane Fighters will like it, but I like it.
Oh, rest in peace, Nim plays.
I mean, it was essentially Winter's Wrath was just the counter to like everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it was terrifying to use any super against it, so that'll definitely help.
Yeah, you know, that was its real place in the meta. It was the shutdown super. Like, oh
Mhm.
no, you hear that hammer go off? Well, here's a melee attack that travels halfway across the battlefield, tracks, and instantly freezes. So you can shut down that super really quickly. So I guess it makes sense that they would make it so that you have to freeze or you have to hit twice rather than just once to freeze and shut down enemy supers. It's good stuff.
Right. Top tree Dawnblade.
Ooh, I was
has-
worried about this one.
We want the identity of Top Tree Dawnblade to be found in aerial combat, so we're doubling down on heat rises. We hope this change makes heat rises more accessible to
Gross.
players
Jeez.
of all skill levels. Celestial Fire. Reduced tracking cone angle. Arming shape. Proximity detonation now shrinks over time. Reduced detonation size by 1 meter. And damage fall off increased at short distances. Icarus Dash now provides 1 air dodge every 4 seconds, while under the effects of heat rises increase to 2 dodges every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Heat rises increase duration from 10 to 15 seconds. Increase the time extension awarded for air kills while heat rises is active. The extension duration differs based on the type of enemy killed. Your location now appears on enemy radar when using heat rises.
Interesting changes overall, I think, to Dawnblade. As an AC 130 boy, I can understand the Celestial Fire changes. That melee was really, really powerful. So wanting to cut back on the tracking and the proximity detonations of that makes a lot of sense. When I first read the Icarus Dash changes, I was terrified. I was like, oh no, we're only going to have 1 dodge every 4 seconds. But I guess with them tying, if you want to keep the functionality that it has right now for those who are listening, which is basically you get 2 air dodges every couple of seconds, you have to have heat rises active now moving forward, which now that they've changed the duration that perk is active, I think is fair enough. I think it's a fair enough balance between having access to Icarus Dash, which is just such a great movement option for an already highly mobile class. Tying that into that perk, I can understand that sort of nerf. Keeping you on radar while you're in heat rises, I think, is going to be
Does
a bit
So
more
does that
interesting.
mean like literally like that like red dot on the radar and not like just like the ping? Or
I'd
what
have
do you
to
think that
imagine-
means?
I'd have to imagine it means the red dot because
That's what I think
you're
too.
Yeah, because you're still on radar if you're in the air. You still
Yeah.
do the ping, so it's got to be the red dot.
Interesting.
People are getting full situational awareness when you're being a flyboy. It's going to be
Sleepy boy.
interesting. Knew it was coming though. Top Tree Dawnblade is just such a good overall PvP class, so it doesn't surprise me.
Middle Tree Dawnblade, Well of Radiance. Increase the damage taken from bosses from 0.25 times to 1.5 times at 0 resilience. Damage taken can scale down to 1.25 based on the owner's resilience stat. This refers to the Well of Radiance itself and not players inside the well, much like the Ward of Dawn. Increased damage resistance buff versus enemy players from 20 to 40%. Players inside Well of Radiance are now immune to stasis freeze and slow. Well Sword can
That's
now be
good.
frozen
That's
and shattered
huge.
by stasis.
That slaps.
A well sword?
Yeah, you can destroy the Well of Radiance by destroying the sword.
Wait, so players inside are they just gonna have to gather up around the sword so that you can't
Yeah.
hit the well?
Keep warm, children.
Keep warm.
We got
Body
damage to
block
do.
for the sword.
Act like penguins.
There you go, huddle up.
Guiding Flame, they increase the duration from 7 seconds to 10 and increase damage buff from 20 to 25. I think they talk about how they want to make this more useful in Crucible.
Yeah,
So
and Guiding Flame is the melee ability.
yeah,
right.
Mhm.
so
I think it's the melee ability that does the burn. So it gives you.
Can it? I'm pretty sure
Power.
that can that one shot with necrotic grip.
I wonder. I
I
haven't
know
tried
that
that.
I know that Nova Warp can, and it's really
Yeah.
hilarious. But I'm not sure about the well one.
The
Interesting.
shove from Nova Warp. I haven't tried it with Well of Radiance. That might be something to test out with this with some of these incoming changes.
Especially if they're buffing it too. Yeah.
Chat Psalm Lab in chat says yes, I was doing it today. So
Okay.
there's your
Excellent.
answer.
Good to know.
Bottom tree Dawn Blade. Phoenix dive. Reduce delay before dive starts. Can now input a direction to dive in that direction.
Can't wait to dive into walls.
Yes. Igniting touch. Ability rework. Solar ability kills and kills on burning targets now cause targets to explode and burn other nearby enemies who will also explode if they die while burning.
That's going to be an interesting change. Probably more beneficial to PvE
Yeah.
than it would be PvP. But basically adding chain reaction to a melee. I'll take it.
Middle tree Stormcaller. Chaos Reach. Increase the beam's environmental collision size to better match collision size with damage size. Reduced beam damage radius in PvP by 20%. And they reduced beam endpoint sphere radius in PvP by 33%.
More. Kill it.
This is like the reverse Viagra for Chaos Reach.
Yeah, I was talking to Fallout earlier today, and I was like, if you told me a year ago that Chaos Reach would be like meta at any point, I was just like, what are you smoking? It's
more
just so funny.
It's more so the fact it's combined with the passive super gain and then
Yep.
geomags.
Mhm.
Like Chaos Reach isn't inherently a broken super. It's just that you get 18 of them in one match. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the
Oh.
that's the appliance direct infomercial for it. Do
It's
you
the-
enjoy getting 5 supers per Crucible game, including your first super within the first 5 seconds? Boy, do we have an exotic for you.
Are
It's
you
the only
losing a
thing I
match?
will use in Gambit. It's like the only Warlock class that makes sense to me to use in Gambit.
Oh, yeah, because you want to win, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you losing a match of trials by 3 rounds? Do you want to get your super first? Chaos Reach is here for you.
Chaos Reach is here for you. It's like an accident lawyer. It's there. He's there waiting for you. Dial him up. So yeah, we knew that was coming, and all these changes are. It's funny because these changes are more angled at preventing some of the crazy reach that Chaos Reach has. Reach that Reach has. You know, hitting people behind walls, ticking for damage after you've clearly gotten out of sight of it. It'll be interesting if they do continue to look at stuff like geomags, because geomags is a huge part of the problem with Chaos Reach, and I wonder if they're gonna nerf that generation.
They've touched on, this is a whole other thing I've talked about for 12 years, but
Yeah.
they've talked about like changing things in PvP and like having 2 separate sandboxes, which would be dope because geomags is fine. Like use it for PvE, that's fine,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but just have it, I don't know, every kill you get in the last half of your super bar gives you like a little bit of extra super energy or something. You shouldn't just be able to sprint into a wall and get a minute's worth of super. It's so broken, at least in PvP.
Absolutely. And what percentage does it kick in at? It's at like
75. It's like 70,
75%?
79 or something like that. But it's so close to that like 4th bar that it's basically 75%. So like
right
a minute's worth of super you can just get instantly.
running.
It drives me crazy.
Yeah. Gonna have to do something about it.
Yeah. Bottom tree Stormcaller. Your Arc Soul gets increased duration from 12 seconds to 13 seconds. A whole second. Increased
Whole
fire
second.
rate by 10%.
Pew, pew, pew.
Electrostatic Surge now increases sprint speed when allies are near. And Landfall now fires 5 arc ground projectiles on cast.
That's
sounds
gonna be fun.
Is
You get
Landfall gonna be able to touch people now? Am I actually gonna get a hit marker with Landfall?
You're gonna hit it, and then it's gonna go, and it's gonna kill at least 2 things around you.
Okay.
I wonder, is that the Arc Soul is base buff? Is that gonna affect getaway artists too?
I
So,
wonder.
like,
I'd imagine so.
so it's gonna shoot even faster.
You're
now.
roided out, little arc buddy.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Get
Little
him,
Arc
Larry.
You're much bigger than the last time I saw you. What are you on?
It's not working out, dude.
The juice.
Oh,
And
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
that's the last thing we have here.
Finally, Middle Tree Voidwalker.
Yeah.
Nova Warp gets increased damage versus PvE combatants by 73%.
Ooh.
No longer slows movement speed while charged, and now detonates on cast. So
We'll take
there's
that.
that. Handheld Supernova. I keep. Never mind. Increased damage versus PvE combatants by 100%, and
Damage.
increased hold
I dig
time
it.
from 2.5 seconds to 3.2 seconds.
All right, Joey. How you feeling?
You don't understand the things that I'm going to do with this subclass. Like, it's all I had like so many people send it to me, of course. They're just like, Joey, look.
Yeah.
I just sat there staring at my phone like, no way they buffed this. But it's this perfect storm of it's a terrible class when you don't use Astrocyte and Blink. But
Yep.
like when you pair that together, Nova Warp is already one of the best supers in the game, and the fact that they just buffed it, oh my god! I'm gonna make a video about it, and I'm hesitant to, because I mean it's been my little secret for so long, but we're not that far away from a Blink meta, and it's
Yeah.
terrifying but exciting. Like this super and the movement of Blink, especially with the Icarus Dash nerf, Blink is going to be the fastest movement in the game and have the best super in the game. It's gonna be nuts.
Gonna be
All
nice.
right,
Oh my
boys.
goodness.
Polish up your fucking astrocyte.
Literally.
Like, get ready to
There's-
go.
Right. There's
Oh
two
my
people
God.
that I know of who use Astrocyte. One's you, Joey, and the other is Nim.
Make
That
it
number
three.
is about to
Game over.
3, buddy.
explode. 3.
I-
There's 3 people I know.
I can't believe they buffed it. Like it.
Yeah.
Oh, can't believe it. It's so exciting.
It's gonna be good stuff.
Okay, now give me a better Nova Bomb.
Right?
That's all I want.
It's like, they buffed it purely based on like, oh, okay, not very many people like use
Yep.
it,
Literally.
but
Yep.
Oh yeah.
oh, I can't wait.
Fools. Yeah.
You've unlocked my final form.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what this is gonna do when it moves forward, because the movement options afforded to you by Blink are already nutty. Astrocyte makes them just so good.
Like I was already faster than like I don't know if you know Rhythm or not. He's one of the best people ever. But he's a Dawnblade main, and I could out race him to places even with his Icarus dash, like pre-nerf. So the fact that it's getting nerfed, like, oh, I love it. So thank you, Bungie.
Here we go. Looking
You're
forward
about to
it.
have so many regrets.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
man.
gonna be a
Oh.
blinking Nova Warp meta. Everybody get ready.
Yeah, man, and with it now detonating on cast and like
Oh my-
not slowing your movement speed when charging anymore.
It's
Excuse
literally
me?
it has changed the game. Like Nem and I were just nerding out, like just oh, so funny. But you're literally the movement you can do. You can be anywhere and just in 2 blinks be like on a zone or something. And then the
Yep.
fact that we have like a first cast to blow. I'm curious. They might make it a little explosion, like, because you can have 2 types of explosions with the warp. You can do the quick
Right.
just tap and you'll do a little one, or the big charged one. If it's the big charged one, it's not looking good for everybody in the Crucible right now. You'll literally be able to wipe like 3 people, and then when you use Blink as the majority of your movement, not the dash, like you
Yeah.
just have it for 12 years, and you can cross entire maps in oh my goodness. You're not. I feel like Illidan in Burning Crusade. Like you're not prepared. It's
You are
gonna
not prepared.
It's gonna be nuts. I can't wait.
And that's, that's one of the big skill things that I've had a long conversation with Nim about. One of the big tricks to successful Nova Warp play is learning to use your Blink over the Ionic Blink, because that takes up a bunch of your super energy. And you don't need to use it. Just keep jumping, bro.
And learning. Oh, that's why I'm going in. It's turning into like a 30-minute video, but like Blink has
Yeah.
so many different nuances about.
Yeah.
Like it's not just a teleport. It's literally there's a parabola of momentum depending on where you jump changes, and then where you're like moving, you can completely go a different way, and then knowing how the time in between blinks and how long you can do. There's a huge skill gap to it. So it might not be the meta, but for people who are going to use it, it's going to be so much fun. Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. I can't wait. I think it's going to be real fun to see what happens when some of these chains are taken off of Nova Warp.
Mhm.
It's going to be a good time.
Oh,
Well, all right. Was that all the Sandbox changes?
That was all the Sandbox changes. That
Good stuff.
quite a few.
Quite a few.
That they talked about for abilities. Next week, we're going to be hearing about how armor and mods will be changed. So I'm I don't know. some of the things that we talked about today, I would not be surprised if we saw some buffs and nerfs for some of our lovely pieces of armor.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Falling Star, I would love to see Celestial Nighthawk get a buff. I would love to see it get a buff
absolutely.
because right now it's just kind of like whenever I
To the
use it
point-
against boss. Yeah.
I was gonna say to the point where like against like Atheon, it's better to just
Blade Barrage.
throw knives.
Yeah,
Just blade
it's
barrage
better to
them.
Blade Barrage
And that's
against Atheon.
weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird to think about. Looking forward to hearing about some of those changes. But all right, that's it for the Sandbox stuff. Does that mean it's time to move on to the audience questions?
Oh, I believe so.
Well, right on. Can I start us?
Why,
I have a
certainly.
question.
Certainly.
And it is for you, Joey.
Instantly. Hit me.
So you talked a bit about like your history with Halo and Call of Duty and all that kind of stuff. Something that always really interests me is how did you get started in gaming? What were your first gaming experiences like? How did you get into this crazy pastime?
My first gaming experience was being that little twerp of a brother hopping in my brother's LAN parties
Yeah.
and breaking all of the custom rules they had set for their Halo match. I was that like 6-7-year-old going invisible with the rocket, but then they can't get mad because it's his little brother. So yeah, Halo
Trolling from a very young age.
Yep.
Mhm.
Halo, if only I could blink. Halo 1 was my indoctrination into gaming.
You were the kid jumping in and grabbing.
yeah.
What was that busted pistol in Halo 1? Oh gosh,
Was it
I
just
can't
a-
remember the name
wait,
of it.
no.
it might have just been it might have been the it wasn't the M6D. Was it? Whatever it was. Everybody knows what I'm talking. If you've played Halo
Right.
1, you know what pistol I'm talking about. And the gentleman's rule was nobody gets to use it. You were the guy jumping in like, "Oh, what's this?"
Oh yeah, I was a kid. I'd go up to get some pizza. I'm like, oh sweet, a controller, and I just start playing.
That's good. And man, what a game to start it out on. 'Cause,
Right.
man,
I
it
was
completely
raised right.
Yeah, you were raised right with the game that redefined the arena shooter as it was and kind of created sort of the modern first-person shooter we have today. You know, one of the games I've been playing a lot over the last week is Splitgate, which is this.
I wanted to try that so bad.
It's a lot of fun. I downloaded it yesterday and figured I'd give it a shot, and it's pretty good. It's like classic Halo. It's like it reminds me most of Halo 2, but with portals everywhere that you can kind of set up for optional plays and whatnot.
What's
And
not to like?
what's not to like? And it's that same sort of format that was kind of revolutionized by Halo back in the day. So I'd say that's a pretty good introduction to the gaming industry. Good stuff. All right, that's my question, Dan.
All right. Well, let's move into the audience questions. I'm currently, I think we're capped out at audience questions.
Do we want to start with the rapid fire shit from Twitter? 'Cause
Sure.
It's all kind of silly, but I kind of want to do it anyway because, you know, I retweeted it and I
Sounds
figure
good.
I should honor that.
Sounds good.
Okay, Joey, answer quick. Are you ready? We
Hit
have a
me.
couple things from Skanking Zombie.
Skanking
Sorry.
Zombie.
Oh,
Sean
God.
Zombie.
Oh God, Sean.
Huge
All
fan of
right.
ska, huh?
You ready?
Let's hit it.
Joey, if you were a furry, what would your persona be? Quick.
I don't know.
Would it be a kangaroo? That's what your
Oh
emotes
yeah,
are,
easy.
right?
Duh, easy.
Okay.
You're right. Yeah.
There you
You
go.
know me better than I know myself.
Oh, I know.
I hope
If,
this doesn't enlighten anything in me.
No
I
way
hope
did
it
anything.
does.
If your mustache could speak, what kind of accent would it have?
Oh, Australian. We're going with the theme.
All right.
There we go.
What is the most important lesson that you've learned in your time streaming, and why is it that Fallout plays is weird for eating and enjoying pumpkin soup?
I'm sorry. Yes, Fallout's weird. Repeat the first question. I was like, wow, this got so deep, and then the second part happened.
Yeah.
First part again.
What is the most important lesson you've learned in streaming?
Turn off your view count.
Cool.
Yes.
Immediately. Turn it off.
All right. The last
Focus
one.
on you. Focus on you and your community. Numbers. Do it. Worry about that after stream, or think of like, don't do it while you're watching or while you're playing.
No
Yeah.
analytics while you're live. Got it.
Yep.
Last question from Sean is, why haven't you returned his phone calls?
He knows why.
Okay. Would you consider cereal a soup?
Oh my god.
Yes,
Oh my
no.
god. No.
Yes, no. No.
First.
Okay.
Is the
Uh,
ocean soup?
Stop.
I mean, technically, the primordial
How many
soup.
how many holes does a straw have?
2.
1.
Does it?
How do you grow your glorious mustache?
I subscribe with Amazon Prime.
Okay. And why is purple, not green?
I don't have the answers to everything.
Oh,
That's
tragic.
just nature. I'm sorry.
Gonna have to find that one out for yourself.
Yeah.
All right,
Color
Twitter,
theory.
Thanks for that, whatever that was. Dan, can you move on to the questions? or
Sure.
substance, please?
Sure.
I like that. I thought those were great.
All right. So, going into the chat questions, Doctor Sleep asks, "What D1 map do you want back?"
Oh boy, I'm gonna choke and not remember the names. There was a cool. Oh my god, there
Describe
was a
it.
cool one on Mars, Black Shield maybe. I liked that one. That
The
one
one
was
with
fun.
the big base in the middle?
Yeah, I
That was a
think
good-
so. I think
Another
so.
good Rift map.
Oh,
Um,
Drifter was fun. I liked floating bodies. That one cracked me
Right?
up.
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
great.
There's so many good. Yeah,
Crossroads
Crossroads.
with the man cannons.
Crossroads.
The
Yeah.
man
Yeah.
cannons were great. I really
Man
loved. I
cannon.
loved sniping
Mhm.
people when they were on those. I literally just created mini games with my friends. Just like, all right, pull, and like try to hit him. Oh, great.
Yeah.
I want
yeah.
Vertigo back. Vertigo
Yeah.
slapped.
So
There's
far,
a bu-
a
there's a
lot of
bunch
these
I
have
just-
been Taken King maps.
Why's it very based on
There's a bunch I just don't remember either. That
Yeah.
it?
like
What
that
was
you
the
hear and you're
giant
just like,
map
oh my
on the
god.
Dreadnought?
I think Dungeons. Is that the one that you're talking about?
Yeah.
No, that one's
Yeah,
smaller. I
think
think,
so.
isn't it? With the big hole in the middle.
I don't know. Anyway, so many. All of them. Is that an answer?
Every single one.
Yeah. All of them. Bring them all.
Do
back.
it, Bungie. Just copy paste.
There you go. Control C,
easy.
Control V.
It is.
I think-
That is quick side note. Like, I love that we have the capability. We have the lore now to describe with some of the planets gone. With the simulations, we can just simulate whatever we want. So we can just bring them
There you go.
all back.
Oh God.
Man, Crossroads would be great in D2. Now that
would
I'm thinking
be.
Yeah.
about that. That'd be
Yeah, that would-
really fun to bring
That was a
back.
fun map where you could have like a sniper or like just this weird combination of guns, but it was such long range or close range. It was fun.
It's my
Yeah.
favorite mayhem map, I think. In
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You
Um,
you get hammers and you're just flying through the air, just trying to chuck them to the other island.
Oh yeah, my favorite thing to do was break Titan bubbles while jumping over the gap with a Nova Bomb.
Oh,
And
the
just,
Nova
like-
bombs across the map are great
Oh,
too.
So good.
Nova bombing across the map is my passion.
Next, Anticlimacus25 asks, which of the Nova Warp buffs will affect PvP the most, and do you think it will be viable in PvE now?
See, I mean, it's definitely always going to be like an ad clear super, so you're not. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like a big damage booster, but depends on if you build for like handhelds or something. Maybe like you can make it work, but it's. I mean, I don't know. They're nerfing chaos. I don't know. We'll have to see. It might be, and yeah, it's gonna be insane in PvP. All of it. It's just gonna be nuts. I can't wait. I can't wait to blink into a group of people, blow up, and then travel around the map twice. Maybe I'll finally get my first 7th column. Maybe this is what I need. Thanks, Bungie.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the no movement speed reduction when you're charging
yeah.
more charge is going to be really huge in PvP. And
Mhm.
detonation on cast.
It's just it's
like
so
Joey
funny.
said.
It's
Pop
so
in.
funny. There's always like this weird like amount of time after buffs where like people are like, "Oh, dude, like respect for using Nova Warp." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" It's like back in D1 when Doctrine of Passing got released, like I got it the first weekend and it just shredded. People were coming in
Yeah.
chat like, "Yo, dude, respect for using an auto rifle." I'm like, "Oh, little do you
Huh?
know, buddy."
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, thanks. It's really underpowered.
Miss her. The only time I ever got called like a slur on PlayStation was for using that gun. Good God.
It was a little nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Wait, you're saying people who play video games sometimes
See-
don't have the greatest vocabulary in the world?
Oh
Now
no.
just bring back Doctrine with these Nova Warp changes, and I will ascend. I will transcend this universe. I can't
I'm
wait.
right there with you.
Love it.
Z Dog asks,
Oh boy.
what made Joey switch from Xbox to PlayStation, considering Halo was an Xbox exclusive?
Interesting. I did play Xbox up until Destiny. Actually, that was where I played Modern Warfare 2. But I started playing Destiny on Xbox actually, and I didn't have anybody to play with, and it was big sad. And then I like went and visited my brother, and like his roommate was playing Destiny on the couch. It's like, oh, nice, you played Destiny too. It's like, yeah, or Destiny. It was originally Destiny. He's like, you play Destiny as well? And he's like, yeah, like I'm on. And he was on PlayStation, so I was like, all right, bet. And then I just switched, and he was actually the first person I like helped people with trials in, and then like the rest was history. So yeah, thanks,
Now
Jeff.
you're- No escape.
So, I
Um,
mean, with that being the case, so how are you looking forward to crossplay becoming a thing, bridging that gap finally?
I'm very excited. I kind of have a controversial hot take. I see. I Destiny 2, I think, should have waited to go to PC when crossplay was announced, and then like it would have, the community would be so much more tightly together instead of when it came out, it created such this divide of like PC master race. It
Yeah.
changed the game. It was better on PC.
Oh
And then
yeah,
now with the new consoles, they're all like almost equal playing fields besides your like
Yeah.
movement inputs. So I really think the play would have been to just wait, maybe at least until the PS5, like the new consoles came out, then go to PC. And I know they had the whole Activision, they already had it all planned out, but like I feel like it would have been the play to release it now. But
Yeah.
that's just me.
I
That's
mean,
my
it's-
little hot tea I like to drop.
No, I mean that it certainly would have been beneficial with this. One of the biggest issues with Destiny 2 on the on PC right now is the player numbers. You know, it's a relatively small
Mhm.
player pool in comparison to all of the consoles. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
It created
definitely makes
it created so much drama and so much of the world
Oh, yeah.
races,
It
like
created
all
like
the
a
Doesn't
leader.
create
advantages,
drama. Like,
and
let's
just, like,
be real.
oh,
It
sure,
created-
but like, and it just felt weird. Like it felt different than D1.
Yeah.
It's never really
Yeah.
recovered from that. So I
Yeah,
hope
no, I
that
do agree with that.
crossplay will kind of blend that back together. But I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah,
Well, so if if splitting everything off created this kind of elitism, then rejoining that community back together, oh boy,
I
just
know.
the PC
It
folks,
might just be
man,
like,
like I can just hear it.
I know it could easily just be like,
Oh, he's on PlayStation. He's with the controller movement.
like it's already
Yeah.
there. It's already like, oh, he's using a control. Like,
Yeah.
there's gonna be toxic aspects, but hopefully.
always.
Yeah.
More people will be able to play with their friends, and it's gonna be great. And yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I dig that.
Last Lady Legend, non-PvP question.
Hey,
Next raid boss, if not Savathun? Tell you who it's gonna be.
Question.
Tell you who it's gonna be.
I have.
It's gonna be me.
I
Raid boss.
was gonna say me too with the mustache. I don't know. Like we've always just like accepted the fact it was gonna be Savathun. I will say this: I hope it's not like. I hope we don't. Not to like throw shade at Bungie because I love the storyline. I just hope it's not like we do a campaign, defeat the big bad like Savathun, and then go to a raid and it's Savathun, you know, or something like that. Like I do
Yeah.
enjoy when it's like a different thing or whatever. Like the main storyline is the raid. I don't know, but they want everybody to experience it. So
So
know.
how did you
I
feel
know
about
they
Taken
probably-
King?
when you like, because in Taken King we like didn't we, or we killed like the Shade of Oryx or something?
You defeat
Yeah.
Oryx, and then he
Right.
basically like
Right.
ascends.
That's what I'm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
yeah, we defeated Oryx and then we went into his throne world and
Yeah.
beat him. And that's like the real
That's
Oryx. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Fuck up.
never mind. I retract my statement.
I
I just need to think of something to say because I don't know
The
who
fact
the
that
it's gonna be Ava Levante. She's been working undercover for
There we
Savathun
go.
this whole time.
the
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
fact that it's gonna be a Hive DLC means that we're probably gonna see more of the Throne World sort
Listen,
Oh,
all
which
I know,
extra
dimensional shit.
all I know for sure is that the Traveler was supposed to be evil, and maybe will be evil in the end. You know,
Yes.
we commit so much genocide
Uh-huh. It's true.
At least
in
one
the
a
name
day.
of light. It's all a lie.
Yeah.
You can
I
quote
want
me
to
on
fight.
that.
I know Bungie would probably never do it because it's like it's a weird thing with the game being like 13 and up, and it's like it doesn't have a high enough rating for this. But fighting humanoids is like a weird thing. But I
Mm.
would love to
Yeah.
fight Dredge and Yor. I think that would be sick. Or like any of the really iconic, like light bearing villains from the lore. I don't know as far as like raid boss stuff goes, but
I know my
it would
brain
kind of slap. I just think it would be neat.
went on like a huge tangent, or like just a lot, like a train, just nonstop. And when I don't remember exactly when it was. Spoilers in D1 when you like see yourself as the darkness, or was that D2? I don't.
D2.
That was D2.
D2?
Yeah.
When you like
That
talk to yourself and they're like the darkness talking to you. I thought we were gonna like go into a raid, and one of the encounters was gonna be like fighting you
Us.
as like a
Yeah.
dark, like you 6 guardians is that raid encounter. It's you
That'd
in
be
your armor and
cool.
you're fighting them. And I was like, let's do it.
That's some Final Fantasy 14
Like, literally,
Warriors
like,
of Darkness stuff.
in like a subtle way, showing like the damage that you cause or whatever. Like, that'll be so cool
Yeah,
to show us that
that'd
we're
be cool.
evil. I wanted it. But we'll see.
Yeah.
there's
I think that'd be pretty neat.
there's a really cool boss boss fight in Control where you face yourself, but it's like an alternate reality version, and it's just so
Mhm.
fun. It's so fun.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
they're
I'd love
using
that.
Everything you want to.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah, I think good stuff. My answer to that would be it's gonna be Taniks recycled.
Listen,
have,
he's
like-
just trying
Panic.
to find a
5.
home.
he just
He just needs a
He's
house.
just trying to find a home. He's gonna have
He
like
has no house.
plastic
I-
bottles as his legs and recycled from trash.
we went and played Deep Stone Crypt, and we all put 6 bubbles around him, and we were like, "Look, Tanix has a house."
now you're gonna have to
I-
increase that resilience if you want to do that.
I
Wouldn't it be
know. And I
great?
was stop us.
We have a Far Cry style alternate ending to that raid where if you build him a house, he just becomes your friend.
He becomes the new NPC that you talk to.
Yeah.
You finally found a home.
You
Oh,
built him a home.
So you go all the way through the raid, right? And you get to the end, and there's just a couch, right? There's just a couch for you to sit on, and springing out of it is Taniks, kind of like Frank from Always Sunny. Just
Oh, gross.
just
No, you get up.
Is he,
No,
is
I
Panic,
got
like
it.
all oiled up and stuff?
yes,
too?
he is.
Figured
Yes.
it out. The raid boss is Dinklebot.
Oh shit.
Dinklebot has
Oh.
returned. You've woken the hive.
Dinklage needs work.
That raid boss came from the moon.
So, since all
A
the
shard.
enemies like scale in size as they go up in difficulty, would it just be a giant ghost, like a
Yes.
traveler-sized ghost?
See, with Peter Dinklage's voice, I would
Yeah.
love it.
Can
They
you
would all
imagine
speak
that?
in unison.
I would love it.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate it.
We have
Thank
2
you,
more
Joey.
questions that we have to go through here.
Okay,
Keep
go.
'em coming.
Gray Fox 2K30 question: with the recent changes to abilities and now the change to armor and mods incoming, what changes are you looking forward to?
Like out of stuff we got from the last swap.
So stuff that we got from this TWAB,
Mhm.
knowing
Twab.
what you know now, what changes would you like to see in the next one now that we know that armor and mods are getting a tuning?
Right. I would love to see, obviously, Geomags being touched as the PvP main that I am. I mean, we're blatantly like almost in Scory level range of
I
annoyance.
literally said that earlier today when I
Um,
was playing Iron Banner Fall.
It's rough.
Yeah.
And like
Stories.
I don't know the answer. I'm not a dev, but just having that be reduced, and yeah, maybe passive super gain. I don't know. I'm not gonna go down that. I'm not gonna open that rabbit or go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, Geomags for sure. That's what I want changed the most.
Right. I'd say we talked about it a little bit earlier. I'd love to see some of the lesser used exotics see a bit of a change, maybe a buff for Celestial Nighthawk. definitely Skull of Dire Umkara. I would like to see given a little bit of a buff. Used to be
Dire-
good back in
dire
like
need.
yeah, it's in dire need of that buff. I would even say just revert the nerf they did to it back in like what was it, Warmind, when they first nerfed that thing. Or just take it back to its functionality from D1. Something like that.
I'm afraid
Yeah.
I'm gonna get Astrocyte nerfed, guys.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely.
We got
Oh.
Arbalest nerfed, but I don't want. I don't want it.
About to go 2 for 2.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about One-Eyed Mask.
No, that can stay. That's fine.
That can stay dead. That
No.
can stay in the worm
it's
husk
still,
box.
It's still good. It's just not as ridiculously OP as it was.
Right.
I would.
It was
I don't
bad.
really have a good answer. I'm just kind of waiting to see how it actually plays out.
Mm-hmm.
So
I would like to see like with if they're touching the arc staff, right? I would like to see Raiden Flux get a bit like maybe just a little bit more of a buff, especially if they're
Right.
like increasing the damage radius, if they're increasing like the damage that it does overall. Like quick successive attacks with arc staff increase its damage output and duration. If you're wanting people to use that, you crank that up a little bit. Like I don't know how much by how much, but that would be the first thing that I would go to.
Do you think there's a conspiracy theory and they make like new exotics more powerful so that people will use them versus the old ones? Like that's why Dire is still like where it is because they want people to use the new ones.
I think
no, I mean look at Geomags that have been around forever.
That's true. That's true.
there's always they want you to play with the new toys, right?
Yeah.
And even if the new toys are somewhat broken, like somebody mentioned One-Eyed Mask in here, like they want you to play with One-Eyed Mask, and then when it becomes a problem, they're like, "Okay, you've had your time with
Okay.
that. We're going to
Destroy it."
take it away, and we're going to throw that in the trash pile. Here,
behind the barn.
now you get the Fallen Star, the Karasa, the Fallen Star. You enjoy
Yeah.
this now for a while, and you like
Right.
they're constantly kind of like doing that push and pull with it. And
Yeah.
so I would, if I were going to buff something, I would like to see something done with Raiden Flux. That way, it's just like
Yeah.
a little.
I agree with that.
Buff Astrocyte.
Last question of the evening goes to Mosh Pat.
Hi, Pat.
Would the changes that have been discussed today make you hop into Crucible more often in the future?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be storm calling a little bit more in there
Yo,
with that the bottom tree changes for sure.
which tree? Arcweb is top tree, right? The chaining nade. Pretty sure is top tree. That
I think it's
so.
top tree.
don't
Yeah.
sleep on Arcweb. I've seen some disgusting things with Arcweb. Still, it's just very, very good.
For a while, Stormnade Arcweb was a little bit of a
Oh,
problem.
it was broken for a little bit. Yeah, it's at a better
Yeah.
place. You can split up from your team and like do it, but it's really good for like getting them like getting teammates to separate so you can push together. It's been interesting.
Pretty good.
But yeah, as a Nova Warp man, yep, I'm going back in. I
Yeah,
might play the
definitely gonna
most
give that a shot,
PvP
too.
I've ever played, and I've played a lot of PvP.
Yeah, ditto. Same here. I'm looking forward to trying the Nova Warp changes.
We'll see. I don't know. I've never been a huge PvP guy, and that's I don't know if that's something that changes with this. Mainly because I just hadn't taken the time in the past to try to get good at PvP.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I got old thumbs. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out
Just
together
use it-
from here.
Just use a Bastion.
Oh well, yeah, easy.
Without Bastion.
Yeah, Jotun.
Easy button.
I just
Come
need a
play
Jotun.
Put on
Apex.
your Bastion and your sword and 3P. Oh wait, you can't do
I
that.
can't
next
3-peek
season.
anymore. Oh no. Oh no. Whatever shall I do? I'll just use Witherhorde. It's fine.
Go dump those on control points
Yeah.
like a
Grenade
dick.
launchers are annoying, but fighting line against 3-peekers, mwah. Love it. Love it. So you have to fight fire with fire.
That's what you got to do. Sometimes the cheese must be met with cheese.
With some more gooier
With
cheese.
this nice smoked Gouda.
Drop that fondue on them. Well, all right. I do believe that brings us to the end of the show. Is that the last question?
That is the last
Yeah.
question fit to print.
Right on,
Right.
right on. That brings us to the end of episode 288 of the Planet Destiny podcast. One for the history books. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Very special thanks to our guest, Mr. JOverrated, for joining us tonight. It was a pleasure having you aboard.
Yeah, it was really fun. Thank you all for having me.
Absolutely.
Anytime,
No, it
buddy.
was great to get you here, especially, I mean, like I said, it's almost like divine providence. Bungie
was.
announces these huge Nova War buffs, and it's like, you get to come on and talk about it. It was perfect. Could not have
Meant to
happened
be.
more perfectly. But before we get on out of here, I do want to give you the opportunity to let everybody know where they can find you across the internet. So if you would, the floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, you can find me anywhere under JOverrated. It's just spelled out how it sounds, J and then overrated. TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. I'm gonna be dropping that Blink tutorial here soon, so if you want to check
Ooh.
that out, that'll be on the YouTube.
Right on. Make sure you go and check it out. It is like Joey said earlier, it's going to be the big skill gap with Nova
Mhm.
Warp, because Blink with Astrocyte is nutty. It has been nutty for a long time. Everyone's just ignored it because Dawnblade existed.
Right.
So make sure you guys go and check all that out. As for us, Moon, hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
What's up?
You all right?
As well as any of us can be. Yeah, you can find me mostly on Twitter at Moonvault. I'm kind of in between making personal content right now, just helping produce stuff for Planet Destiny. I think to derail from anything I'm doing, but I kind of want to mention here now that we're at the end of the show, we have potentially another podcast in the works with our lore team.
Ooh.
A podcast.
Oh, hey, that's good.
A
Hey.
podcast. Any podcast with a moon in it is a podcast.
Oh, thanks.
We take those.
But yeah, for me, it's just Moonvault on Twitter. Kind of a mess right now, but yeah. What about you, Dan?
Oh God! Hi. My name's Danfinity. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and the TikTok at Danfinity, where the eyes are L's. There was a split second today where I thought that maybe the other Danfinity was gone, and on Twitter, and so I went and looked, and then had my heart broken again. So other than that,
Unfortunate.
you can find me on Twitch 3 days a week, twitch.tv/Danfinity. Beardo on Wednesday. I think I'm interviewing Moshpat for that one. And then a buddy of mine on the 11th of August, his name's Adam the Hand, is going to be running a charity stream for the Rocky Mountain Children's Hospital in Denver.
Right on.
Where his kid was treated for COVID earlier this year. They went through and did all good. But yeah, he's going to be live for about 15 hours raising money for them. So go send on that day. Go there, say hi to him.
Do it.
Right on. Make sure you go and check that out. Are you still getting down on Borderlands?
Dude, so I've slowed down a little bit on Borderlands. I've been playing a little bit more of Death's Door.
Oh, I
Ooh.
want to play it so
It's
bad.
It's real good.
Yeah.
It's
I still
real
haven't
fun.
purchased it. It's so cute.
I keep seeing reviews for the Ascent, and I'm like, I need to save that $30 for something else, but I want it. So I might do a little bit of that possibly. But Borderlands has been a hell of a lot of fun. And when you were talking about like a giant Dinklebot, I was like, oh, I know exactly that boss from Borderlands 3. Yes. So, yeah. All in all, it's been a pretty good time.
Right on. Make sure you guys go and check that out. This man does podcasts like nobody else. It's good stuff. As for me, of course, my name is The Black Link. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all at The Black Link. This week, you might be seeing some Splitgate footage go up. Like I said earlier in the show, I jumped into the I guess beta test or whatever they're calling betas these days yesterday. having a lot of fun with it. Really surprised by how well it plays and just how much fun it is. It's if you like classic Halo-styled arena shooters with like the added caveat of opening up portals to kind of move around the battlefield. It's a lot of fun. It's free to play. I would definitely recommend it. Any first-person shooter fans, go out there and try it. It's definitely a good time. And we'll probably be having some streams for that. You know, the usual schedule, Monday through Friday, starting at 11.
We should get some games in, Link. I
Oh,
want to play it.
absolutely. Hit me up, dog. I'm down with it.
Do it.
It's I'm really jazzed on that game. It's a lot of fun. It's
Sounds like it'd be right up my alley. I'm ready.
oh, as a Halo boy, absolutely. Because that's exactly what I felt when I was playing. Like, oh, this is Halo 2, but with portals.
I just played Portal for the first time like last week, so it's meant to
The
be.
first one?
There
The
you
first
go.
one, yeah.
Have you played the second one?
No, I haven't yet.
I
Oh.
demand to be your co-op partner for that then, because
Ooh.
I love Portal 2
My
so
brother,
fucking
my
much.
brother has demanded it already, but if he
Oh.
can't, then we
Fight.
can do it.
Fight to the death.
I will beat the shit out of your brother. No,
Right on, but that's all my stuff. Of course, any Destiny news and whatnot will be going up on the Planet Destiny YouTube channel at youtube.com/Planet Destiny. But all right, everybody, that is it for episode 288 of the Planet Destiny podcast, your guide to This Week in Destiny. We'll be back the same time, same place next week, Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you tune in. For this one, we're out for now. Take it easy, everybody. Bye.